I think is in the Netherlands. They don't hear me, so they're not purposely interfering. They just don't hear me, and that's why they're on the same frequency. I moved up a few KCs. I'm now at 14.248.400. Is the frequency clear? Is the frequency clear? Okay, it sounds clear. We always got to do that. If anyone would like to spot me, 14.248.400. I feel like a bus driver. I'm moving all over the joint here, picking up people as I can. Anyway, 73s to you, Wayne. Thanks a lot. Sorry we couldn't hold the contact longer. CQ calling, CQ calling, CQ, anyone, anywhere. This is Kilo 2 Hotel, Stoke Sierra Uniform Foxtrot. Kilo 2 Hotel, Stoke Sierra Uniform Foxtrot listening.
Alpha Golf 5, Sierra Romeo.
Roger, Alpha Golf 5, Sierra Romeo. Thank you for keeping me company. Thanks so much for saying hello to us, a special event station, basically operating to thank all the workers that are right now on the front lines fighting COVID-19 and really going through tough times. Our thank yous do get packaged to them, and they hear that, and hopefully it gives them a little bit of a psychological lift in their tough day. I'm looking at you right now. Frank, I believe is your name. I believe you're in Hutto, Texas. If I pronounced that right. I am looking at your setup. You got a nice station set up there. Very nice. I like to see when I see the monitor at eye level so you don't get a stiff neck. Looks good. And let me guess, is that a 7300 that you're operating? And it looks like you've got yourself also an ACOM, maybe a tunable amp. I'm getting too personal now. My apologies, Frank, but let me know if I'm right or wrong, and let me know the antenna system you're using, any thank yous you'd like to give to the heroes fighting COVID-19. That's a lot to say, a lot to think about, but thanks a lot, Frank. Alpha Golf 5 Sierra Romeo. This is Kilo 2 Heroes Stroke Sierra Uniform Foxtrot. Over to you, Frank.
Yeah, I got you at 14.248.40, just like you said, and I'm running the the ACOM run now. I'm running it, and let's see. I'm doing check. I'm doing probably about 1,000 watts at you. So we're trying to get out, and I got a hex beam up there that's got some gain and some direction to it, and everything down here in Hutto, Texas. You're correct down there. Now, give me the rest of your call sign. I got K2K. Is that correct?
Yeah, let me repeat that, Frank. Thank you. It's Kilo 2 Hotel, K2H, Stroke Sierra Uniform Foxtrot. And Frank, the Sierra Uniform Foxtrot is a abbreviation for Suffolk County. QSL?
Yeah, QSL. Give it to me one more time. I got the QT. I got K2H now.
Roger. And then it's Stroke Sierra Uniform Foxtrot. Sierra Sugar Uniform Foxtrot. Go ahead.
Okay, so K2 Heroes of for New York.
That is correct. We have a special call sign, K2 Heroes, thanking all the workers of New York State, and we have 62 counties, Frank, in New York State, and basically I'm Suffolk County, running Suffolk County Station right now, and there are many counties that are going to be on the air through the rest of the month. Frank, go ahead.
Okay, let me log you in. And what is your name again?
It's Peter, Frank. Papa Echo Tango Echo Romeo. Peter, go ahead.
Yeah, I got you, Peter. I'm going to log you in the book and everything, and you guys have been all over the news, obviously, and yeah, I mean, my heart goes out to all of you up there, trying to take care of this and keep people out of harm's way, and I can surely appreciate that. Not too busy down here in Hutto. I did get to go back to work. As what they call it, essential, right when the hardware came in. But it's a terrible thing that we got to go through these days. And I hope that, Peter, everything your way works out. And God bless you for what you're doing. Alpha Golf 5 Sugar Radio.
Excuse me. Thank you, Frank. Thank you so very much, and thanks for taking the time to take our call and the information that you need for the log. No doubt about it. The enhanced distancing really works. It's getting our numbers to a reasonable number, close to where we'll be able to open up more businesses, and we can't wait to do that. And as I've said before, Frank, if someone is in compromised health, please don't go out, even though businesses are open and people are starting to mingle around. Unfortunately, we don't know if anyone is who those people that are out there are carrying the virus, where they may not know it, since we're not able to do extensive testing. So stay home and stay well, and and wait until these numbers get down to zero before you really get out there. That's all I can say. That's my message. Thanks, Frank. You're running a nice station. The ACOM is doing a phenomenal job, and thanks a lot for putting a good signal on the air today from Texas. 73s to you, Frank. Over to you for a final.
Thank you, Lee. And you're right. And that's what I've been doing. I've been carrying around my Clorox rag and putting my mask on, sanitizing everything at work every day, tabletop, bench top, because I work at an electronics place, so, I try to keep that. They've got the people limited to just a small amount of numbers down here in Austin. So, doing exactly what you're saying, and I'm going to try to stay alive because I'm about 65, and I got a little case of type 2 diabetes. So, yeah, I kind of fall in that category. Peter, you sounded good. 5'9", you're 20 over. That station is definitely doing a job. Good audio, sounded good. And take care. God bless. Frank down in Austin, Texas. K2H/SUF. Alpha Golf 5 Sugar Radio Clear.
Roger, wonderful words, Frank. Thank you so much. Thanks for the compliments. I know you're near Austin, and certainly not far from the Flex headquarters. A little quiet these days, but I have a Flex 6400, and I really like it a lot, very, very much. By the way, I want to say a shout out to Whiskey 9 Alpha Whiskey X-Ray. Wonderful display for a wonderful event. Thank you very much, and thank you, Whiskey 9 Alpha Whiskey X-Ray. That's what we like to hear. Keeps us occupied, and thank you very much for following our stream on Twitch TV. What's very, very important, too, is we like this information to get out to the news outlets, which it is, and that's very important. I had the privilege of speaking with Bob Heil and Gordon West on Ham Radio Nation. If you didn't see that, check into the Ham Radio Nation past broadcasts. That was wonderful. That gave us a spike in more activity. I was interviewed also by Newsday, about a 300,000 publication circulation. So what's important, there's no ego involved. I don't care about getting on the air or talking to these folks. What I care about is that our message as amateur radio operators and the amateur radio service is getting out to the public where they're saying, something, they're doing something that is a nice service. And perhaps one of our thank yous, and we have so far 14,000 thank yous. One of our thank yous hits a nurse, hits a doctor, hits an EMT, where they all of a sudden get a lift by saying there are people out there that really are thinking about us while they're sheltering in place, and we're here. They're not just ignoring us and assuming, hey, this is our job, this is what we have to do. So thanks a lot for following us. Pass the word. Twitch TV with my call sign, Whiskey 2 Juliet Victor. That's the only way we can get out in a broader sense to the masses, we'll call it. And our hope also is to gather some more amateur radio operators who might say, hey, this is a neat thing you guys are doing. I want to be part of it. It's going to be real easy. Just go to arrl.org and you'll find out more information. So spread the word, please, and follow as often as you can. Add up more followers helps us really keeps us in business. 73s, Frank, thanks a lot, and thank you for letting me go on. By the way, I have a Lima Hotel Bravo, and hopefully you didn't get bored and run away from me. If you're still there, thank you a million for your patience. Lima Hotel Bravo, I'm listening for you, sir.
K2H, I believe that's what I had written down. Anyhow, this is KC9LHB, Mike here in Wisconsin Rapids. Oh, it's raining, it's 50 degrees outside, and anyway, I'd like to salute all the people on the front line that help out during this little problem. I myself work at a grocery store in a meat department. It's hard, but we're getting by. Thank you. My goodness. K2H, this is KC9LHB.
Roger, Michael. Kilo Charlie 9 Lima Hotel Bravo. Michael, I could hear it in your voice. I could hear the emotion in your voice when you said you're working in a grocery store in the meat department, and it's hard. It is. It is hard. And, when we talk about essential workers, frontline workers, you are also a frontline worker, and we don't want to ignore you as well. When I go to the grocery store, very seldom these days, but when I do go with my wife, we see these young kids at the cash register with their masks on, don't know what the heck is going on, and they're having difficulty just breathing because it's very difficult, to keep that mask on in place throughout the course of the day. It's hot usually in these stores, so it's a tough situation. Michael, thank you so much for what you're doing. And thank you for keeping us in supplies, Michael. Our heart goes out to you, and our thanks sincerely go out to you. Over to you, Michael, for your final 73s. Kilo Charlie 9 Lima Hotel Bravo. This is Kilo 2 Hotel or Heroes stroke Sierra Uniform Foxtrot. Over to you, sir.
K2H, thank you very much. Try not to be emotional. Sometimes it's hard.
Is it your call?
73. Keep up the good work on the net. We love to hear it. KC9LHB.
Roger, our pleasure. One thing that I heard there that's very important is that you cannot, none of us can keep our thoughts, our fears inside. We can't bottle it up. Clearly, this is very, I'll use a word, cathartic. It's very refreshing, we'll call it, to be able to vent how we feel. Amateur radio operators are very good at that because we are good communicators, and we're used to that. We're used to talking, communicating, giving our feelings. A lot of people are not doing that, and I want to say to them, it may not be something you're used to doing, but please vent. Talk to someone if you're feeling any anxiety. I don't care who that is. It could be somebody who's a librarian that is feeling a lot of anxiety. Just don't keep it within yourself. Just pick up the phone and make a phone call. And if anything, just listen to us here. You can get an idea, practice inventing. And that's one thing I said to the folks, Gordon West and Bob Heil on the broadcast. I said I was very surprised at how this is working both ways. It's working for us as well as working for the heroes that we're thanking on the front lines, because we're able to talk about how we feel. Thank you so much, Michael. Be safe, be well. I'm going to tell you something. We're getting through this sooner than later. We are very close to getting outside of the tunnel. You look at the map of the United States, 43 states, I believe, are opening up their locations, opening up the restaurants. So we're getting closer to it. If you're not well, just social distance. The call here, someone asked for the call. The call is Kilo 2 Hotel. Kilo 2 Hotel, I repeat, stroke Sierra Uniform Foxtrot. Once again, Kilo 2H for Heroes, stroke Sierra Uniform Foxtrot. QRZ.
Alpha Charlie 0, Victoria Bravo.
Roger, thank you. I hear a bunch of stations in there. Thanks so much. It's nice to have company, and we want to really continue to thank you, Tour, that's for sure. My name is Peter, Pop Echo Tango Echo Romeo. I'm located in Long Island, New York, Suffolk County. That's why you're hearing SUF. My friends in Nassau County would be NAS, November Alpha Sierra. So I'm Suffolk, SUF. And the name here again is Peter, Pop Echo Tango Echo Romeo. And my home call for the record is Whiskey 2 Juliet Victor. Alpha Charlie 0 Victor Bravo. Nice signal. Your name, sir, your location, the antenna you're running, and I'm sure you'd like to say a thank you to someone out there, a hero. It could be just somebody who's anonymous fighting COVID-19. Go ahead.
Yeah, okay, very good, Peter. Well, thank you for picking me up. My name is John, Japan Ocean Hotel November, John, and I am in St. Paul, Minnesota. The antenna is a 130-foot end-fed wire antenna, and I guess I want to, the rig's a 7300 with a D104. I do want to say thank you to my wife. She works for the health department, and she works for the crisis phone line right now. They transferred a lot of people over to that for now because they're receiving a lot of phone calls on people that are, sorry to say, actually members that are dying and they don't know what to do. So my wife is counseling those folks. She works for the health department. Go ahead, Peter.
Well, that is right on target, right on target. Yes, and John, thank you. I know we've spoken before. Thanks for mentioning that. Would you be kind enough to give me her first name? Go ahead, John.
Yeah, her name is Katie. Katie, over.
Is that Katie with a K, K-A-T-Y, John?
That's right. No, it's K-A-T, Italy Echo. Kilo Alpha Tango Italy Echo, Roger.
Oh, yes, Kilo Alpha Tango Italy Echo. Katie, that is what I've been talking about for the most of the day. And finally, I've got to talk to somebody who's on the crisis phone line. I'm so glad they're moving people into that area because right now, a lot of these frontline workers under the pressure, and it's pressure that they haven't had before. Let me give you an example of the pressure they're under. And I'm not going to read the story to you because I can't read it and stay within myself. Basically, here's what's happening on a regular basis. Here's one nurse's story. She's 24 years old. She is sitting with a dying person. the relatives of that dying person are not permitted to enter the room. You know the routine. They cannot go into the room. They're not permitted. They're outside the door. They're looking at the glass. So this nurse is the last person that this person is going to see. And the nurse is also really sad because she cannot remove her face mask. She has to just keep it on, and all this person sees is their eyes. And they're playing basically the soft music, and the iPhone talking is connected to the individual on the other side of the glass, the relative. So this person is basically acting as that relative, watching the person die. Now tell me something. You tell me something, John. Has a nurse ever had to experience that in their lifetime? And you wonder why a lot of them are suffering PTSD. Over to you, John.
Yeah, Roger, Peter. Well, thank you for that story. And yeah, it's I'll tell you, my wife comes home. There's some days where she just has to sit down and cry because it's so traumatic. But you know, we just keep praying that the Lord Jesus will help us, and He will. Okay, Peter. Well, listen, I'll let you go, and you work some other ones. But we appreciate you, Roger.
Oh, John, you appreciate me. I'm just a little messenger here. Katie and yourself are really a part of this war. You're in this MASH unit right now, and all I can say is please make sure that Katie doesn't suffer beyond, and that you're looking at her and making sure that she can get through onto the next day. And if she needs any help, for her to reach out to someone. But she has you. And I think that you're certainly people of the faith, and I know you'll turn to the Bible and get some comforting words from that, and that's going to be very important. So hopefully, she will hold through this while she is counseling others. Certainly, it hits her as well. That blanket covers her. So thanks so much, John, and please say to Katie that we really also are putting out our good words and prayers for her as well. Thank you so much for that. I got a message from a shortwave listener. I see a W. Let me look closely here to get it. It's Whiskey Alpha 8097 SWL from West Virginia. What you're doing, checked in here a few days ago, listening via the Utah 2 SDR. Good luck with your contacts in 73s. Thank you so much. You know, if you would like a certificate, you can go to the Kilo 2 Hotel site, go to the QRZ page, and write a little note that, I'm a shortwave listener and I'd love to have a certificate commemorating this very important event. We'd be happy to send one out to you. You don't have to be an amateur radio operator. All you can do is mention the time that you've made contact with me, and I'll help you out. It's certainly, we know that UTC time is 1906 UTC, and it's May 17, 2020. Just put that down on your email, and if you'd like, we'd be happy to give you a card. John, thanks very much. I know a lot of what we're talking about is pretty emotional, but that's what this special event is all about, is to get that out there, thank the workers, but also help ourselves as well. Thanks, John. QRZ, and get back to me, John, if you don't mind. Could you call me back? Let me know in a day or two or three, and how Katie is doing. I just want you to say, she's doing fine, and I'm not worried about her. QRZ, this is Kilo 2 Hero, Stroke Sierra Uniform Foxtrot listening.
Whiskey 9, Bravo, Delta, November.
Roger, got a number of good stations out there. Thank you so much. Really appreciate the support. Whiskey 9, Bravo, Delta, November. Welcome aboard the good ship, Amateur Radio. I appreciate that. I can look here up, Stephen. You contacted us a couple of times. Thank you so much. Know you're in Tarswell County in Morton, Illinois. Looking at that picture that everyone else is seeing, yeah, that's an ACOM, huh? Very nice looking rig, proudly sitting on your desk. And thanks for making contact with us again. And I forgot the antenna you're running, and maybe you want to say a salute to one of the workers. But thanks a lot for the multiple contacts. It really shows that your heart is with us. Thank you, Stephen. Over to you, sir.
Yeah, very good, Peter. Well, actually, I need to change that picture because I've added. But yes, that is an ACOM 1500 there. But right now, I'm running my S-line. I got my Collins S-line going, and old 30L1 running probably 400 or 500 watts, just kind of loafing along. And the antenna, it's a KT36, and it's up right about 62 feet there on a windmill tower in the backyard there. Yeah, just thought we would check in again. Pete. This is probably the fourth or fifth time that we've checked in, and it's very interesting how many people that you do have check in there. Kind of says a lot. I think they're K2H from W9 BDN.
No, Stephen, you're absolutely right. 14,000 contacts, as I've said earlier. 14,000, and we're only here May 17th. In addition to that, what other numbers can I give you? 126 countries, 126. Wouldn't it be something if we made the DXCC honor roll as a result of this? That's a little bit of a stretch, but who knows? Who knows? And 1,392 counties through the United States. Yeah, we want to become newsworthy. We want the news outlets to know that we're saying thank yous. 14,000 of them so far and rising. I love the Collins S line. You know, that was the equipment that got me going in 1964 at the New York World's Fair, seeing the S line. And, you know, the amateur radio equipment that I saw previous to that, Stephen, was old military stuff, converted military stuff, and wasn't too appealing. But when I saw the S line, I said, man, that is one pretty rig. And you sound sweet. Beautiful sound with the S line. Congratulations. And come on, do us a favor. Get some pictures of that and put it out on the QRZ picture page. I'd love to see that and show it to the viewers out there. 73s to you, sir. Be well, good health, and look forward to reaching you again, Stephen. Over to you for a final 73. Thank you so much for your kind thoughts.
Well, very good, Peter. Yes, and we'll certainly be back on here from time to time. That's not an issue at all there. And thanks for the good report in that. Yeah, I'm using the old Electro Voice 664, which always seemed to have married up with the S-line very, very good there. But anyway, yeah, I'm going to put a new picture on there, and I'm sure we'll probably check in from time to time before this thing ends. But my God, 14,000 contacts and 126 countries. That's impressive. That is very impressive. So 73s until the next time, Pete. You're doing an awesome job there, and take care, and we'll look for you again. K2H from W9 BDN.
Roger, Stephen, our pleasure. Whiskey 9, Bravo Delta, November. This is Kilo 2 Hotel, Stroke Sierra, Uniform Foxtrot. I know I say that too quickly, and I apologize to that out there. Maybe it's a little bit of that New York speed. And I'm talking with so many nice fellows in the Midwest, a nice, calm, sedate, trusted Midwest. Thanks so much. Yep, the world is small when it comes to something like this, and we really appreciate them. I'm going to put up something here on the stream. Speaking of the world is small, this is another station. Folks on the stream, you're now looking at, thank you viewers, appreciate your time. You're looking at here a special event station that is really, right now, in fact, I think they're on the air. Their call is Oscar Quebec 4 Angels. Oscar Quebec 4 Angels. And it says here on their picture, a tribute to the COVID-19 lifesavers. I couldn't say it any better. Picture of a nurse. Those that are not watching the stream, hey, why aren't you watching the stream, guys? Even though you're on the radio, pick up the stream. Go on Twitch TV, my call, Whiskey 2 Juliet Victor, and you get another. It's like 3D. You know, you're getting not only the voice, you're not only seeing the spikes here on the pan adapter, but now you're going to be able to see some really caring pictures. And I believe that particular station is located, UBA, I believe they're in Belgium, and the wonderful thing they're doing. So I'm going to keep that up for a moment or two. Oscar Quebec 4 Angels. If you amateur operators, look for them on the cluster. Try to work them. Gorgeous, nice people. 73s to you, Stephen. Look forward to speaking with you again. QRZ, this is special event station, Kilo 2 Heroes, Stroke Sierra, Uniform Foxtrot. At my pleasure listening.
N4 IRE.
Roger. Oh, good. Propagation is getting a little better now. 3:11, 3:12 in the afternoon. That's Eastern Standard Time. That is really nice to hear. I wasn't able to copy that call. I was on the wrong cluster. I think it's like N2 IRE. But give me your call again, sir. Go ahead.
Hey, Peter, it's November 4, India Romeo Echo, N4 IRE.
All right. Loud and clear, sir. N4 IRE. Thank you very, very much. Looks like you're really in your shack there. I see some corrugated roof that you got there, and you got some nice equipment stacked up. Let me know what kind of antenna you're running there. Got a good signal into Long Island, New York. Your name, your location, and the antenna that you're running, and any perhaps salutes to the heroes fighting COVID-19. Over to you, sir.
Yes, sir. The
name is same as my suffix, India Romeo Echo, Irie. Irie is my name. I'm in my man shack out here, running a super penetrator vertical for 20 meters, and I have a Yaesu 3000 radio with ALF 600 amplifier. I just wanted to say thank you for all you're doing for the heroes out there. I'm former law enforcement who suffers from PTSD. I still have family and friends, a lot of friends still in law enforcement and in the medical field. A good friend of mine, she's a nurse, and we're from Albany, Georgia. I actually got a Sylvester, Georgia address, but we're close to Albany, which is a hot spot down here in Georgia. We actually made the national news per capita, so we've had it pretty rough down here. But I just wanted to say, remember these guys. They're going through a lot, and the ladies, the nurses, the EMTs, the doctors, the law enforcement, they're all going through a really tough time, and there's going to be this is going to be with them for a really long time, if not for life. But I just wanted to say I appreciate everything you do, and me being from law enforcement, I know how they feel. And I'll turn it back to you, Peter. N4 IRE.
Irie, thank you very much. That's really what this particular event is all about. It's about sharing information because what you're sharing is being heard maybe hundreds, thousands, who knows how many times out there for people that might say, you know what, I've got PTSD and I haven't done anything about it and I'm really feeling bad, and it sounds like you've got a nice support group around you that is helping you through that. It's like any other disease. We know it just doesn't go away. To your point, it doesn't. What you're trying to do is put it as far back in your psyche as possible. And for the first time, I mean, I thought about it, but I never really heard about it. Nurses are, and you know it as well. Nurses are in fact suffering from PTSD. They're being asked to do things. You know, in law enforcement, you're trained and you put on your vest. And you wear your weapons, and you're kind of trained. You know what the deal is, pretty much. Most of the time, you're in situations that you prepared for. But can you imagine? And I know you know this from your experiences. These nurses have been thrown into this war, and they're not prepared. And a lot of them have said when they go to a Walmart, they're looking at people that have equipment more than they even have in some cases, which is really a travesty. But hopefully, more and more of them recognize their symptoms. And it's the first time they're probably ever even thought about having this and don't know what to do with it. And hopefully they're seeking counseling, and so they won't become a victim as well. And we know that from what I read, I believe Georgia, of course, they opened up. They were critical, the governor, for doing that. But you know what? It's working out. The numbers, from what I've read, have not really spiked. There hasn't been a large increase. So clearly people are still being very, very careful and considerate of others, Irie. Back to you for your final, and really, bottom of my heart, Irie, thank you so much for sharing that with me and allowing me then to broadcast that out to those folks that are listening and streaming. Go ahead, Irie, for a final. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, Peter. Yeah, the levels here in Georgia have leveled off, even with the people going back to going to restaurants. I've checked the numbers this morning that we are on a level keel, which is good. But let me remind everybody, PTSD is a very misunderstood disease, and a lot of folks doesn't realize, what it is, and it's overlooked a lot. And there's going to be, I've reached out to my friends for talking to them, and they really helped me out. My counselor, my wife, but they're going to have our support to help them get through this, and they work. You still got it, Peter.
Yeah, Irie. Yeah, I do. I heard that, and there's a couple of stations that are probably running 3 kilowatts that kind of covered you up a little bit. But I heard what was very important, that it's misunderstood. It's not completely really solved, and a lot of people will be carrying this, and hopefully they're going to do what you're doing by reaching out and getting assistance, getting advice. And understanding that this too will pass. It's very much like losing a comrade in the war or on the force. It hurts a lot, but it gets better every single day. That level of pain will never go away, but it'll certainly become less and less. Good for you, Irie. Thank you so much for that information, and thank you for really doing such a good job to keep yourself in an even keel. But most importantly, isn't it wonderful, this hobby, this service that we have, amateur radio, where we have this is a really very, very good outlet for us. I'm sure you'll agree with that. Over to you for a final, Irie. And for IRE, this is Kilo 2 Hotel, Stoke Sierra Uniform Foxtrot.
Kilo 2 Hotel, Stoke Uniform, Sierra Uniform Foxtrot. Take care, Peter. Keep up the good work. We're proud of you. In 4 IRE's clear.
Thank you very much, sir. Really happy to hear that I can be at least maybe a messenger, someone to carry that message that all of you wonderful people are passing on to me, that's being passed on to others. And I do hope those folks that are on the stream can perhaps pick up some of that and pass it on to someone that they know. Maybe they know a nurse out there that they have some affiliation with, maybe a casual affiliation, where they might be able to pick up the phone and say, hey, how are you doing? And if they need some help, they can tell in their voice, maybe they could get them some help. That's all we can do. Thank you, and offering some help, offering a hand. Thank you so much, folks. QRZ, Kilo 2 Hero, Stroke Sierra Uniform Foxtrot. I believe there's a November Hotel online. Go ahead.
Yes, Whiskey Delta 5 Echo November Hotel.
Roger, Whiskey Delta 5 Echo November Hotel. Welcome aboard. Thank you so much for coming on to the I guess the thank you train and certainly the listening train and giving our feelings. I hope everyone doesn't mind that. It's a little different from normal amateur radio. I think your name is Steve, and I think you're in Texas, if I'm not mistaken. My QRZ page is right. If that's all right, what's left is maybe the antenna you're running and maybe any kind of thank yous or salutes that you'd like to give to the COVID-19 fighters. Over to you, sir.
I just want to make a quick contact to say hi and thank you for bringing up the station.
Steve, thanks so much. Yeah, a bit of QSB, but that's the nature of the day today, Steve. Thanks so much for making contact with us. Thanks for saying thank you to those workers really on the front lines, and we really do appreciate that very, very much. 73s, QRZ, this is Kilo 2 Hotel, Stroke Sierra Uniform Foxtrot listening.
Whiskey 9 November Foxtrot.
Roger, thank you. Nice to hear a lot of stations. I like that. Thank you very much for that. A Whiskey 9, 1st November Foxtrot. Thank you so much. Your name, location, antenna, and any comments you'd like to make. Go ahead.
My name's Mark. I'm in central Indiana, and I'd like to say thank you to all the frontline workers there. I personally work in an airport, and I can tell you that it is no fun out there these days. So we're all doing great things. Take care of yourself.
No, it isn't, Mark. Whiskey 9 November Foxtrot. Working in an airport, no, it's not fun. It's full of anxiety. It's full of tension. It's full of people that really are a little bit crazy. But that's because what they're going through, they're not accustomed to it. They're not trained in it. And if you're in law enforcement or if you're a first-line responder or an EMT, you have a little more practice. But a lot of these folks, it's being thrown at them, and they're just not able to handle it. So I hope things get better in Indiana. Yeah, things I think are flattening out a bit. Mark, I also want to compliment you. Spider Beam, I think, looks like a top section of Roan Tower, and you really captured the. Let me think now. Is that the sun or is that the moon? I'm going to guess that's the moon, Mark. Am I right on so far what I've said? Go ahead.
Yes, very much so. It's that's a hex beam, and that is the moon. It's took some moving around to get that right in the middle of the hex beam. But yeah, that's when I first put it up, and that's a couple of sections of a mirror tower. I use Flex 6500 into an Ameritron amplifier, and then back up to the hex beam.
It's doing a fantastic job. Have you downloaded the most recent maintenance fix from Flex, Mark? Go ahead.
I I do not. I'm not sure if there's, let's see, last time I told this thing to go out and look and see, I think I had everything down, but I'll go out and see if there's anything else out there. Why not?
Yeah, the newest, it came out on actually it's dated May 20th for some reason, but it is a flex for our the 6000 series, and essentially it's a flex to the SD card. I had a problem where the SD card became corrupt, and I basically had to completely restart Windows with a new image. So it was a real big disaster on that corruption. So this maintenance fix, and now it's a little odd. You're going to find it's going to be, you probably have the most recent version, 3.18. This is 3.12. They're doing a new hexadecimal designation. So 3.12 is the latest fix, and it seems like a pretty important fix, Mark. Go ahead.
Okay, thank you very much. Yeah, I'll go out there and take a peek for that. No, this thing, it did something weird since this last Windows update that happened last week. It shut itself down twice on me the other day, but it's been fine today.
When you're running Windows 10, Mark?
I am running Windows 10 on this computer, but like all of them, I mean, let's face it, this thing's a server, and I pick it up on 2 or 3 different things, including one. Let's say I use an iPad. I use 2 different laptops, and then this main machine that I'm on now is a desktop. But most of those are running Windows 10.
Roger that. Yeah, that's where my problems began. The first thing that happened was that all my DAX settings became corrupt. I looked on my device manager, and I could see that they just got wiped out. There was no drivers left. So that was step one. And then I started to get error messages after that. Now, what I didn't do, and my computer was shutting down and coming back on, and for the first 3 or 4 days, Mark, it was okay. It would shut down and come back on. I didn't pay attention though to the error messages, the page error they were telling me. That might have helped. So I'm not sure if it shuts down again. If you could copy down the page that it's erroring on, maybe that'll give you a clue, and maybe you could do a quick fix before the whole thing crashes like mine did. Mark, go ahead.
Well, I hope it doesn't. Yeah, DAX didn't want to load this morning, and so I shut everything down, restarted the machine, brought all the stuff back up, and everything's been fine ever since then. But yeah, I shut down yesterday, and I think I may have been doing some digital stuff on that at the time when it did that. So there's no telling. That could have been a number of things. I don't know that, and I'm feeding this into an AOS 1306. I kind of like that thing.
Yeah, you should. That's doing it. No, that's doing a fine job. Yeah, that's for sure. But yeah, and I think maybe this maintenance fix might have it most likely has a lot to do with the SD card, and I have a feeling that's where my problem started, where that SD card on this Flex was starting to become corrupt. Yeah, I had a good friend of mine who is a top dog at ICOM, and he said, "Well, we never have any problems like that with the with the 7000, 7300, 7610." So, that's one of the things that we take a risk on, Mark. I don't know if you'll agree or not, but that's why a lot of the contesters don't opt for software as their radio. And as we know, we have a server here more than a radio. But it doesn't happen too often. So hopefully these maintenance fixes will get us out of the woods, Mark. Over to you for a final, sir.
I can relate to that. I have a 991A, an FT 991A, but I do everything on this thing. I like the Flex a lot. I've been through a 5,000, a 3,000, and now I've got 6,500.
Listen, take care of yourself. Thank you very much. Appreciate what you guys are doing. Whiskey 9 November Foxtrot, $73.
Well, thank you, 73s. Also want to tell the stations, we also can talk a little bit about amateur radio here as well. This is not, we don't want to get too depressed, and that's not what this is about. This is a thank you, and occasionally I'll slip in we'll call it a public service message here and there, but mostly we're celebrating the nurses, the doctors, the EMTs, the people that work in the grocery stores, like the gentleman I spoke with that's in the meat department, that's afraid every single day he goes to work, and I could just tell the emotion in his voice. The people working on your cars, right? They're on the front lines. The people that are keeping our phone lines going, all of them we're saluting because they're heroes fighting this COVID-19, and hopefully we won't be fighting for much longer. 73s to you, Mark. Thanks a lot. QRZ Kilo 2 Hotel, stroke Sierra Uniform Foxtrot listening.
Whiskey Foxtrot 9 Yankee. Whiskey Foxtrot 9 Yankee.
Roger, thank you. I think I got it. A couple of calls I heard. Hopefully I didn't commingle your call, sir. Kilo Juliet 4, Romeo Echo. Let me know if I'm right on that. And if so, your name, your location, the antenna you're running, and perhaps a little bit about the salute to the heroes fighting COVID-19. Over to you, sir.
Well, I've been listening on the side there, and I thought I'd make a comment. My name is Robert, KJ4RRE, over in Elkton, Kentucky, and just thought I would check in with you and see what was going on.
Yep. Yeah, what's going on here is a lot of different things, Robert. A lot of things. Welcome, by the way, from Elkton, Kentucky, Robert. I have your picture on the QRZ page. Thank you for putting your call on the license plate. That just confirmed what your call was, and you're using the same screwdriver antenna system that I'm using. It's a great performer. It really is. Anyway, to what we're talking about, yeah, we're saluting the heroes fighting COVID-19. We're talking about some of the stories that some of us want to share, whether it's personal stories, a nurse we know, a doctor we know, and just really venting. That's what this is about, just discussing it, but most importantly, offering our heartfelt thanks. Anything you'd like to say further, Robert? Go ahead.
Well, I guess the only thing that I could add, I am in such a remote, isolated location that there is not even any known viruses in this area. I don't even know anybody that's got a virus, and life just seems to go on as normal over in my place.
Couldn't be happier about that. That's wonderful. That really, really is. And unfortunately, that's something that the one thing we know, virus spreads when we have a population density. So that's fantastic. And keep up the good work. And we look forward to certainly things getting back to normal in Kentucky and having the Derby once again being bigger and better than ever. Thank you so much, Robert, for stepping in, saying hello, and registering your thank you to the heroes fighting COVID-19. Right now, by the way, streamers that are looking at the stream, I have a picture. This person is known as a peer counselor. This is a peer counselor communicating with a nurse who is probably, I think this particular nurse that she's talking with is sitting at a bedside of someone that is on a ventilator. And this is a peer counselor just talking her through her emotions. Really, really something sad. 73s, thanks so very, very much. But you know what? Helpful. That's what counts. The end result is what counts. Kilo 2 Hotel, stroke Sierra Uniform Foxtrot listening.
9 Yankee, 9 Yankee.
Roger, a 9 Yankee, go ahead.
Whiskey Foxtrot 9 Yankee.
Roger, thank you. Whiskey Foxtrot 9 Yankee, thank you so very much. Very good afternoon to you. What can I say, sir? Your QRZ page says it all. There's so much equipment there in such beautiful order, and I compliment you on your location of your monitor. That's not neck straining whatsoever. And I'm going to guess, maybe this is a wild guess, sir, that you're a pilot also. Tell me a little about yourself. But most importantly, I'd like to know the antenna you're using. Everything's important. But again, most importantly, is any salutes that you'd like to give to the whole COVID-19 fighters. So give me a little background about that. Some beautiful, beautiful pictures there. And thanks for sharing that on your QRZ page. Over to you. I believe your name is Mark. Go ahead.
Thank you, Peter. Thank you so much for what you're doing. I wasn't aware of what you're doing. I came across you here about 45 minutes ago trying to work you through the pilot, but this is really cool. I've got on my screen here, I've got the pictures that you're sharing, and pretty neat. Thank you so much, and you're exactly right. The first responders, they're heroes, and it's an unprecedented time. One quick comment, and I'll go into the equipment here. We operate a supermarket, and so a lot of the high school kids, their parents are concerned, and some of them we said no problem. We understand. You still have a job if you want to come back whenever. But it's been pretty trying. Fortunately, we live in a county that so far we've had about 20. I think it's up to 27 cases, which is we're not too bad. So anyway, the equipment, I used to have a beam Yagi, and it got destroyed by an ice storm, and so I've downsized. Now I've got
2 dipoles at the top of a 55-foot tower, and just running a modest 100 watts here. So anyway, thanks again, Peter, for what you're doing. I'll give her back, see if there's any QSB on the band here. K2H /SUF, WF9Y.
No, very encouraging. Hopefully the band is holding up. Very solid copy, about 10 over 9 mark. Whiskey, Foxtrot 9 Yankee. Yes, as I said many times, I particularly am my hat's off and my heart goes to the people in the supermarkets. And you know, most of the workers in the supermarkets are young people, and there's some folks that are retired from a job and going to the supermarket. And I've got to say, we go to a very small market, an IGA, Independent Grocers Association, and you can just feel how concerned they are. They close for about 3 days when they put up the plexiglass shields and various other safety equipment. But you're watching someone that you can understand, someone who's a first responder. They know what it is wearing the N9 masks. They're used to it. They're used to working with the PPE equipment. But when you see somebody in the supermarket, an 18-year-old, 19-year-old person with a mask on, you just know they're very uncomfortable. They're not used to it. They're having trouble breathing. They're perspiring. It's very tough. But you know what? Most of them are coming to work every day. So we're really so proud of them. And good for you. Those dipoles, those 2 dipoles at 55 feet, are really doing a fantastic job. Really good. 10 over, solid 10 over, no QSB whatsoever. But that's propagation also helping us. Thanks, Mark, so much. We're proud of what we're doing. We're 14,000 plus contacts and we're only 17 days into the event. We really feel that this is getting a lot of traction. It's getting a lot of news, and our thank yous are going out to those folks that we're sending the stream to. And thank you all for watching the stream, because the numbers, when we see some nice numbers of people watching, those people that we send 10 minutes of the highlight to, they say, wow, they're thanking us. So thanks so much. Over to you, Mark, for your final, and thanks so much for sharing what you've got there with us. Whiskey Foxtrot 9 Yankee, Kilo 2 Hotel, Sierra Uniform Foxtrot.
Okay, thank you, Peter. Yeah, I'm really impressed on what you're doing, and thank you so much. And hopefully we'll look back and we can get this behind us, and we're all in it together. So anyway, 73, wish the best to you and your family, and maybe talk again. Take care. WF9Y, 73.
Yeah, I look forward to that. I look forward to talking to everybody again with my home call, getting back to getting my DXCC honor roll. I'm taking a time out from that. My home call is Whiskey 2 Juliet Victor, and if there's any links that you'd like, go over to that. It's related to a lot of the work that we're doing. Well, I wouldn't be doing this without the help of the Great South Bay Amateur Radio Club, the club that I'm affiliated with that's located here on Long Island. A couple of folks thought it would be a great idea. Lou NO2C, he saw people coming around his neighborhood. You've had that in your neighborhood too, right, where people are honking their horns, flags, clapping, applauding, all of that stuff. He said, why can't we do this on amateur radio and thank those heroes that are fighting COVID-19? And thank goodness he did that, along with his team, KC2SYF Mike, his wife K2RYD, and also not to forget Karen, KD2GUT. Great people who came up with a wonderful idea, and here I am as just one of the tent poles helping out. 73's Mark, thanks a lot for your time, and thanks a lot for putting such a good station on the air. QRZ, anybody, anywhere, we'd love to talk with you. Thanks for sharing your time with us. This is Kilo 2 Hotel, otherwise known as Heroes, Sierra Uniform Foxtrot listening.
Kilo Charlie 9, November, Bravo, Bravo.
Roger, thank you. Kilo Charlie 9, November, Bravo, Bravo. Thank you so much. I'm sure you've been hanging around a while, Terry. Thank you for making contact with us. Hope I got it right as Terry. Think you're in Illinois. Your location and confirming that, and also the antenna you're using. Any comments you'd like to make on what we've been discussing? Over to you, Terry. KC9NBB, K2H/SUF.
Oh, Roger. Yeah, we're running a 05 vertical. It's a ground plane vertical. It's mounted about 6 foot off the ground. Go ahead.
Yeah, you didn't talk long enough. I was having a cup of tea. I guess you can't do this. I usually am involved with simulation racing, iRacing, and with that, I I have more time sometimes to take a sip. But thanks a lot, Terry. The 05, I guess is what it is, doing a fine job. Over to you for any comments you'd like to make on anyone you'd like to salute, or in general of the folks fighting COVID-19 out there as frontline workers. Over to you, Terry.
Oh, yes, hats off to our frontline workers, to everyone, firefighters, police, hospital, you name it, right down to the grocery store.
You bet. They're all in this. They're all in this terrible war. But one thing, this is a war that's in the United States. The last terrible war we had was the North fighting the South. And, that really was, you talk about times in our history, that wiped out somewhere around 6 or 7%, maybe up to 10% of people that were, I think, under the age of 21. A really disastrous time in the United States. So we got through that. And this war, we're fighting a germ. And you know what? By George, we're going to get through that. So we'll bet against America. We'll figure it out. We'll solve it. And we've been punched in the gut, yes, but we're back up again, and we're trying to get ahead of this thing. And we'll come up with the antidotes. We'll come up with the plasma. We'll come up with the ideas of how to minimize it as it tries to mutate again. We'll get it. We'll do it. Thanks so very much, Terry, for your time. We appreciate that. Right now on my screen, I have two very wonderful people. I know one of them real well. He's a fellow amateur radio operator here on Long Island. First name is Brian. He was nice enough to share this picture with me with a nurse that he works with. Brian sent me a number of pictures, and I thank him very, very much to share that with us. 73s to you, sir. QRZ, Kilo 2 Hotel versus Sierra Uniform Foxtrot listening. Roger, let me see. Oscar Charlie Mike, stand by. I believe I have a Kilo Charlie 9. Go ahead. Yeah, I think, there's a station that's way down in noise, but I would like to work you. I think your station ends in uniform. Go ahead. Roger. Well, there's an example. Kilo Alpha 9, Tango Bravo uniform. Let me just salute you, sir. Let me see if I get your name from QRZ. I think it's Maurice, as how it's listed here, sir, on the QRZ page from Reedsburg, Wisconsin. Here's an example of a station that's very, very weak. Maybe a 5 and 4, maybe a 5 and 5, but he was able to very clearly and very wonderfully pronounce each letter by letter, slowly, carefully, and that got him through, almost like CW. Maurice, thank you very much. Fantastic job of getting through. Over to you, and hopefully I have your name right and your location. Thanks so much. Excuse me. You're choking me up, Maurice. You're doing such a good job. Kilo Alpha 9, Tango Bravo uniform. This is Kilo 2 Hotel, stroke Sierra Uniform Foxtrot. Over to you, sir.
Roger that, Roger.
Excuse
You
me.
have all the information correct. Thank you very much for picking me up. I want to thank all of the people involved in fighting this coronavirus thing. My rig here is an MFJ 9420 to a beam to a folded dipole. Over.
Roger, thank you very much. You listen well, too. MFJ 9420 to a folded dipole. Good job, Maurice. Thank you so much. And you couldn't have said it better. You wanted to thank all the people involved on the front lines fighting COVID-19. And that's a lot of people, more than we ever sometimes give credit for. Maurice, thank you so much. You're in the log. Feel free to contact us as often as you can. Thank you so much for taking the time to contact us. 73s to you, sir. QRZ, this is Kilo 2 Hotel, stroke Sierra Uniform Foxtrot.
Kilo 9, Zulu India Bravo.
Roger, big signal. Yeah, that's a really beautiful signal. Kilo 9, Zulu India Bravo. Thank you so much, sir. Your name, I believe, I'm not sure. Don't have it down right and haven't worked here before, I don't think. So name, location, and the antenna you're using, doing a phenomenal job, and maybe a little thank you to the heroes fighting COVID-19. Over to you, sir.
Roger that. Kilo 9, Zulu India Bravo. The operator name is Dave, Delta Alpha Victor Echo. I'm about 70 miles west of Chicago in northern Illinois, about 10 miles south of the Wisconsin border. Great signal coming into Chicagoland this afternoon. Easily 10 to 20 over 9 with pretty stable conditions today. And I'm operating a Kenwood TS
850 into a Kenwood 922 at a kilowatt with a 40-meter full wave loop. And I would like to say thank you to all those hard-working people out there that are keeping everything going from day to day. And that's got to be a heck of a challenge for the families involved. I can only imagine what kind of stresses that creates on everybody from healthcare to law enforcement and everybody else in between, and even the drivers out there that keep the supply lines going and logistics and everything like that. So it's really a wonderful thing that we're pulling together in that regard. And I'm optimistic as you. I think we're going to pull through this. I think we're going to get a lot of takeaways from this, and I think that in the long run we're going to learn an awful lot, not only about ourselves, but what to do if it happens again. K9 ZIB, Marengo, Illinois.
Wow, I'd like to package that up as a highlight, Dave. Thanks so much. Very, very well said from top to bottom. Thank you. First of all, acknowledgement on the wonderful rig, the 850. Kenwood always does a very good job with audio, doing a great job with that, and clearly the full wave is really putting out. Yeah, you're definitely a solid 15 at times 20 over 9. So same here as well. Yeah, a comment like you said about how the families feel about it. I can only remember my dad during the Vietnam period, how he felt about me. And at one point he wanted me to run to Canada, which certainly I was amazed since he was a World War II vet. I said, no way, we'll serve our country. But can you imagine the same feeling? I don't know how they felt every single day, worried that they'll get a note, they'll get a visit from a lieutenant or colonel. This is the same thing, Dave, no different. It's a war. And these nurses, these doctors, the EMTs, they tell me what they do when they go home, how they have to completely shower. It's almost like you're going through a hazmat, and you are in a way. The rub downs, the alcohol, the wipes, the shoes, from top to bottom, because the last thing I want to do is infect someone in their home, especially someone that's compromised. So it's an incredible event. We're going through a war that we never, ever expected to happen. But to your point, you're right. It's what I've been saying all along. We are going to be better people. I know we're going to be kinder. We have to. When you go through something like this, and we know going through 9/11, we saw the changes in people's attitudes, and this will happen as well. I can guarantee it. We're going to be kinder to our fellow man, more considerate, work at a slower pace, and appreciate every single sunrise we have, because we know one thing, tomorrow is not guaranteed to anyone at all. So these workers, I just hope that we can put them out of business as soon as possible, and clearly we're working hard towards that. Have some brilliant scientists that are working hard. Thank you, Dave, very, very much. Let me also comment, I love your smiling face. It looks fantastic. We'd like to smile when we are on amateur radio. It's a great relief for us. And tell me, are you using a D104 mic there? Go ahead.
Negative, no. I'm using a MC60 mic. It's a match system. I added the amp to it and the SP31 speaker. So I always wanted a solid match system. I've got another Yaesu set up to the left of me here, but I've been enjoying using the Kenwood and with the 922, which is a really fun amp to operate. I just enjoy it.
Yeah, you show it. Yeah, I see the MC. I have the same thing. I have a Kenwood 570D. And, I never used a desk mic. I'm using a desk mic now because of just the way the logistics are for me streaming on Twitch TV. So I'm going through the mic. I'm using two mics. One mic to broadcast to Twitch TV. Hello, test. There's the mic to Bridge TV. And then one mic here out to amateur radio. So for that reason, I'm using a desk mic, which is an INRAD mic. It's a DMS1. And by the way, I'm using a Flex 6400M as the rig. Thanks a bunch, Mike. Yep, that's a great rig. I'm moving over to a solid state rig. So I'm using an Ameritron AL80B, the good old 3500 tubes. I've abused them, and they've kept coming back smiling. The worst that happened was a fuse that would blow after some arcing. But I got to tell you something. I'm a little bit nervous and have to be really careful because, as you know, solid state is not as forgiving. Over to you for a final, Dave.
Well, roger that. I've looked at software defined a little bit here and there, but I haven't taken the plunge yet. I'm still a little bit old school with a lot of the gear that I have here, much of which I inherited from my Elmer, so I kind of feel an obligation to keep it going. But no, I understand exactly what you're talking about. I really enjoy this Kenwood 922 with two of the 500 tubes in it. It's just a solid amplifier, and it's very, very, very forgiving. But anyway, listen, thanks for all the great work you're doing and showcasing.
Isn't that a great signal, listeners? What a great signal.
The more we know, the more successful we'll be, and I appreciate that. So I will bid you 73, my friend. I know a lot of people are probably in line and want to get a word in. So 73 from Kilo 9, Zulu India Bravo, Marengo, Illinois. 73, my friend.
Oh, big 73s to you. Thank you, Dave. And call and talk as often as you can. Thanks so much for your time. We really appreciate it. And good talking amateur radio as well. Okay, I got a message here from Whiskey 9. Let me get it out here. Whiskey 9, Alpha Whiskey X-Ray. Been trying hard to get through with the noise floor being as it is since my last message as a retired firefighter from a family of 3 firefighters and our RN mom. Wow, knowing how things have already impacted many first responders. This event, just like 9/11, will impact how we lead our lives in the future. Absolutely. Whiskey 9, Alpha Whiskey X-Ray. If you're on with standing by stations, I'd like to see if we can work Whiskey 9, Alpha Whiskey X-Ray. Are you there? I am listening for you. Go ahead, sir.
Whiskey 9, Alpha Whiskey X-Ray. How copy?
I copy 5 and 7, 5 and 7. Thank you. Yeah, that's what I've been saying. Hi, Greg. I think your name is Greg from Waukesha, Wisconsin. Greg, you look proud there with your vest on. I'm sure it's the Aries vest. I think Amateur Radio Emergency Services. Ben, Greg. That's exactly what I've been talking about. Anyone that's having some difficulty for whatever reason, there's a high noise floor today. The K level is pretty high, and I'm getting it here on my end as well. And we're usually very quiet. I want this chat message to go up. I want you to tell me that you'd like to get through because we'd love to say hello. Greg, good job, Greg. And tell me a little bit more about your family. I'd like to know the names of some of these people that are on the front lines. Greg, go ahead.
Yeah, roger that. Yeah, my name is right here. My dad, Richard, who passed away a number of years ago, he was a lieutenant on the same fire department that I was on. And my brother Robert, who is now currently up at Duluth, Minnesota, was a motor pump operator on, again, the same department, and actually was on at the same time that I was on the fire department about 10 years ago. It's been since I've been on a department, had to retire, moved out of the way, just never got back on one. But yeah, this event, like I was saying on the quick chat room, it's definitely going to impact all first responders, and all of us are going to impact and deal with everybody else around us. Eventually, things will get back to normal or some sense of normalcy, but I think it's going to be a while before that ends up happening. We're going to, just like I said, after 9/11, with everything that happens, and it's going to take a while back till we get to a point where something feels somewhat normal again. Hopefully we get to that point, but we all know it's going to take a while. Back to you, W9AWS.
Roger, thank you, Greg. Hope you don't mind your smiling picture there on the Twitch feed. You're absolutely right. You know, we will go back to normal as we can be when this is all said and done. But, of course, our fear is these nurses, the doctors, the EMTs, the fire personnel, you name it, they won't go back to normal. Hopefully most of them will, but a lot of them are going to show the scars, PTSD. And I really hope that we do everything we can to throw as much help as we can their way and pay them as much as they have to get paid if they need time off to be able to get better. From what I've heard, they're never going to be, and we know from war, they're never going to be 100% again. So that's a sad part, that this is certainly a scar that in many, many cases doesn't go away. We still don't understand how this PSD differs from wartime PSD, whether it's Afghanistan or Vietnam or any place where you're in a war fight. But we'll find out, and hopefully this will not be as severe as the PSD that we know from wartime. Greg, thank you so very, very much for reaching out to me and certainly setting aside the time to say thank you. And let me, before I forget, Richard, may he rest in peace, your father, your lieutenant. I'm sure that he's graduated now to a colonel, at least in a very high place. And to Robert, who was also another rig operator, and we want to thank him as well. So thank you, Greg. All great family of great service, doing a lot of help in the services area. Thanks, Greg, and look forward to speaking with you again anytime. Chat as much as you want if you can't get through, and we'll do what we can. 73s to you, Greg, for your final. Go ahead, sir.
Yeah, Roger, 7-3, noise floor drop down. You're about 10 over 9 right now here into southeastern Wisconsin. And thanks for everything you're doing on, because hey, getting the word out there is always a nice thing. And I know there's people around here that are, going around the hospitals and, surrounding them with signs and giving thank yous and sending food to them because they know how rough it is for some of the first responders and some of the nurses and doctors and all just the hospital workers that are having to deal with everything. So 7-3, thank you very much. 7-3, stay safe, everybody that's out there. W9AWX, thank you very much, 7-3.
Oh, thank you very much, Greg. A pleasure to talk with you. And I repeat, if anybody's having trouble getting in, go on the Twitch chat line, my call sign Whiskey 2 Juliet Victor, to get into Twitch TV, and be happy to talk with you. Unfortunately, we'd love to see more activity on Twitch. The other station is also streaming a Whiskey 2 Radio Echo, remote ham radio. So if you have a chance, put that in your memory over there to go on Twitch TV. He does a streaming from his superstation remote in Maine. He does the DX, so when the DX window is open, usually in the mornings, and you will hear some phenomenal DX from his remote station. He's based in New York State, but he has stations in Maine, and it's remote ham radio. Put that in Twitch, and you will be delighted to see the activity. And also you'll say, I'm a little bit jealous as well, but you know what? This is for rent. His station is for rent. So if anybody wants to use it, they can. So anyway, 73s to you, Greg. Thanks a lot. Our pleasure. QRZ, this is, you know who we are, Kilo 2 Hotel, Stroke Sierra Uniform Foxtrot, and we are honoring the heroes fighting COVID-19. QRZ. Whiskey 5 India Alpha Yankee. Yeah, I turned away from the mic because my keyboard is off to the left with this configuration I've got going him streaming. I got a lot of things running here one time. Whiskey 5 India Alpha Yankee. Good afternoon to you, sir. I think your name is Rich, and I think you're in Dexter, Minnesota. Confirm that for me, sir, and let me know what kind of antenna you're running, and if you'd like to say a salute to the heroes that are out there on the front lines. Go ahead to you, sir.
Well, thank you for picking us up. Yes, the name is Rich, and we're over here in New Mexico. We're a firefighter out this way, and just wanted to thank you for what you're doing there. You're doing a good job. Over.
Well, coming from a firefighter, you're doing a phenomenal job. I'm here just sitting on the air and trying to pass the word on, being the messenger. Thanks for acknowledging that. We appreciate that. And clearly, our thank yous are getting out there. Like I said earlier, 14,000 and counting. Thank yous to the heroes out there on the front lines. Thanks so much, Rich. 73s. By the way, what kind of antenna are you running there in Dexter, New Mexico? Go ahead.
This one right now, I'm on the hex beam. Over.
Yeah. Kilo 0, I'll get you in a second. The hex beam, I'm telling you, I'm doing this so that other amateur radio operators and other people on the stream that perhaps might be thinking of an antenna system can get an idea how these things work. The hex beam is doing a heck of a job, a solid 5 and 7 where conditions are kind of crummy today. Thanks, Rich. Thanks for that, and thanks for saluting the heroes fighting COVID-19. Be well. 73s to you, sir. We are doing that. I believe there's a K0. K0, come on in on board. Go ahead.
How about a W0?
Okay, yeah, W0, I'll get you in a second. I do like zeros. Kilo 0, November Golf. I think this is Peter in Spokane, Washington. Let me know if that's not right. Otherwise, I get 100% on the exam. And give me the antenna you're running. This is November Kilo 2 Hotel, Stroke Sierra Uniform Foxtrot. Over to you, Kilo Alpha 9 Golf. Go ahead. That's Kilo 0 November Golf. Kilo 0 November Golf. Go ahead. Roger. Okay, you're in the log. A lot of QSB. So hopefully we'll be able to catch you again. But you're in the log, though, and thank you so much for contacting us. Kilo 0 November Golf, 73s. Okay, I believe there's a Whiskey 0. Go ahead.
Yes, I hear W0. KLV. Next. 0 Mike November, Kilo 9.
Okay, stand by. Let me make sure, Nick, I got your call right. I don't think I have it right. Whiskey 0, is it Kilo Lima Bravo? Go ahead.
No, but close. Kilowatt Lima Victor. Like kids love vacation.
Kid loves vacation. Yeah, they certainly do. Whiskey 0, Kilo Lima Victor. Thanks, Ken, very much from Cold Camp, Missouri. What kind of antenna system you're running? And let me know if you'd like to salute anyone on the front line. Just in general would be fine. Over to you, sir.
Did I hear the right name in there? We're talking W0KLV. The name is Nick, like in jolly old St. Nicholas. We're in Minneapolis. And if we're going to remember anybody for the present pandemic that we got, it's certainly our youngest daughter, who's a nurse practitioner at Cedars-Sinai in Los Angeles.
Wow, nurse practitioner in a beautiful hospital, Cedars-Sinai. Could you give me her first name, Ken? Go ahead. Nick, rather, go ahead.
Mary, M-A-R-Y.
Okay, our salute to Mary. Mary, thank you for the work that you're doing. We can't thank you enough. Now, Nick, I still messed up your call because your name is not coming up right here in my log. Repeat your call again to me one more time, Nick. Go ahead.
Okay, it's Whiskey 0, Kilowatt Lima Victor. And my mother named me with the intentions that they'd never call me John, what you're seeing. So the IRS, the FCC, the FAA, and the Federal Railroad Administration think I'm John.
Well, you're Nick to us, John. Yeah, I got it now. Prior Lake, Minnesota, and it looks like you're behind the controls of a beautiful green and gray train. What kind of train is that, John? Nick, rather. No, don't we call you Nick? Nick. Otherwise, you can talk to me again. Yeah, what do you got? What are you running there? Whiskey 0, Kilo Lima Victor. Over to you.
It's a fairly rare General Motors SDP 40. The P is for passenger. It was originally built for the Great Northern Railroad in 1966. And 3,000 horsepower. Now owned by the Minnesota Transportation Museum. We operated on an excursion train out of Osceola, Wisconsin.
Nick, fantastic. Thank you for that. Thank you for that history. By the way, I'm not sure. Once again, give me the name of your daughter's first name. That's at Cedars-Sinai in Los Angeles. Go ahead.
Mary, like Mary, not contrary.
Yep, Mary. Thank you so very much. And I'm sure, Nick, you're staying close to her, making sure that she's getting through each day without too much anxiety. I really do pray for that, for sure, Nick. Thank you. Thank you. Very interesting, Nick. You also delighted our viewers. A few of them said, wow, cool train, and thanks for describing what you were behind the controls of. I really appreciate that, Nick. Anything else for your final you'd like to say before we move on? Over to you, Nick, for a final.
Oh, thank you for the offer, but I wish I could say that we're absolutely sure we'll be operating the train this year. That's not yet been decided with the conditions, but some year, come on over and take a ride.
I'd like to take you up on that. Love trains. Have a good friend who is a president of the Radio Amateur Satellite Corporation who moved to a spot. I'm going to say, I may be wrong, I think it's down south. It's at a spot where a number of trains really cross paths, where he could really follow them via the radio, and so he had a summer home there, but or still does perhaps. But anyway, thanks so very, very much. I appreciate that. I really do. For the streamers, yep, I have a picture online of a nurse getting counseling from one of the counselors at the hospital. Something that's really neat, and hopefully they're reaching out for it. Nick, thanks a lot. Thanks for your time. Thanks for sharing with us. QRZ. Kilo 2 Hotel, Stoke Sierra, Uniform Foxtrot.
With Kilowatt 9, Lima, Zulu.
Stand by. A lot of nice stations on. Let me stand by here while I get myself all cursored up. There's a Kilo 9 station with a Zulu in it. Go ahead.
Kilowatt 9, London, Zanzibar, Japan.
Right, nice station and very, very superb audio. I'm going to call it studio quality. I hope I'm not insulting you, but it's really terrific. Yeah, let me know what you're running there. I'd really like to know. And the antenna system you're running, certainly, let me just see if QRZ page is right. Comes off as Lyman, Lyman. Not sure if you're using another name. That's what QRZ tells me. And I think you're in beautiful state of Indiana. Over to you, and just confirm that to me and let me know the antenna you're running. Go ahead.
Sure enough. Yes, I go by the name of Hank. H-A-N-K, like my middle name, Henry. I'm running a ICOM 7610 into an expert amplifier. The antenna is two 5-element stacked 20-meter beams. The top one is at 165 feet. The other one's at 110 feet. And they're pointed out in your direction. Over.
Well, there you go. I guess this is the first station I've had that really has what I'll call a a contest station. You may not use it as a contest station, but having beams that are stacked that way, and certainly I think one beam you might say is fixed on Europe, not sure. You can just tell me if you are a contester. The call I'm not going to recognize, but that doesn't mean very, very much. But thanks, Hank, for that information. Also can tell here by looking at your screen that you are also running what I'm running, a Green Heron rotator. I just very much like the way it can display up there. I'm running the Flex 6400, by the way, and you sound really, really good. Tell me, which SPE expert do you have? Curious about that, Hank. Go ahead.
Well, we have two of them. Right now I'm on the 1.5 KFA. I also have the 2.0 KFA. And it is a group station. Matter of fact, I'm running this station remotely from my condo. And we run basically the station mainly remotely. There's about 5 of us that correspond the station. We have DXers, we have contesters, and then we have people like myself who like to rag chew. So, and I do run some contests as well, coming up for the VHF UHF contest coming up pretty soon. We have set up from 160 through 1.2 gigahertz and also moonbound. So thank you much. I'm not going to take anybody else's time. I really appreciate it. I spent 40 years in healthcare, and I wish that I was young enough to go back and help in these times. K9LZJ.
Wow, 40 years in healthcare. Fantastic. Yeah, I'm not sure if perhaps they have a helpline where they're really overwhelmed, Hank, overwhelmed with the number of cases of, I'll call it PTSD or PTSD-like symptoms. But I'm not sure if your town is reaching out. They're looking for more and more people on the helplines to help some of these folks, and it's something that if you feel and you have some of the qualifications, you certainly would with your credentials, that you might be interested in helping out. Not sure if they've reached out to you or not, but that's an area that we can't forget these healthcare workers that are really suffering, and there aren't enough people to help them right now. Let me ask you one other question on your remote station. Is your station available for others to perhaps lease on a lease basis, or is it just a private station? Go ahead, Hank.
It's just a private station. We didn't, to be very honest, that's kind of a hassle, and we wanted to basically be able to enjoy it when we went, when we want to use it, and it's been a lot of fun. It's a labor of over 10 years, but it's been worth it, and I just really enjoy ham radio, and I enjoy the technical side of it.
Yep, it's very therapeutic, and we are very lucky to have that outlet, really, for sure. One final question: the software that you're using remotely, is it proprietary software, or are you using some packaged software to display the information you need on screen? Go ahead.
With the 7610, I'm using the ICOM remote software. By the way, it works excellent. And then for our K3s, we use Remote Rig. And the remote rig setup, and we've had just excellent luck with it. It really does a great job, particularly on CW.
Oh, that's good. Fantastic. That is good indeed, and really appreciate that. Thanks a lot for that information, folks that are listening. They're listening maybe from HOAs or people that right now are on the Twitch TV stream. That is something that is becoming more and more prevalent. What Hank is doing on remote stations, there are a number of people out there that are actually leasing their stations remotely. And if you don't have the footprint and you want to do some contesting or you want to work on some awards, that's another outlet that you certainly can take advantage of. Hank, thanks a lot. Thanks a lot for the technical talk. I really appreciate that. We want to balance this as much as we can. We want to make sure that we keep this, and we don't want to turn this too much into a dragged out, long-term, let's say, negative type of QSO style. And we're not. We're celebrating the heroes fighting COVID-19, and occasionally we have to throw in some real-life stuff that's going on. 73's, Hank, thanks a lot. Great signal, and really appreciate the contact. QRZ, Special Event Station honoring the heroes fighting COVID-19. This is Kilo 2 Heroes, Stroke Sierra Uniform Foxtrot at your service. The name is Peter, Papa Echo Tango Echo Romeo. Now listening. Go ahead.
Kilowatt Victor X-ray.
The Kilowatt Victor X-ray. Come in with your whole call.
Roger. Kilowatt Delta 0, Kilowatt Victor X-ray.
Been listening along. Just wanted to say you guys sound fantastic here in Minnesota.
Well, thank you very much. Thank you. The most important issue is the message, and that's what we're trying to convey. Our message, and I believe your name is either Charles or Chuck in Buffalo, Minnesota. Yep, the message is the message of hope. We hope that this virus will end soon. Hope, of course, is measured with also logic. The logic is that the scientists are working on it. But it's very interesting. This is one of those wars that it's up to the citizens to win right now, because we just don't have all the tools, all the medications, all the therapies that can fight it. So it's up to each and every one of us to know that we have the key to really tamping this thing down to where the numbers become single digits. So that's our job. That's our duty, and we want to pass the word to everyone in a very calm and measured way. Thanks a lot. Let me just be sure your name is Chuck or Charles, and we will go from there. Over to you, sir.
Yep, Roger. You can call me whatever you like, Chuck or Charles. I go by either or, and it all depends on if the ex-whale's yelling at me too. So hi. But yeah, you're right. You know, it's going to take some time to get through this, and we're going to get through it. You know, people just need to play it smart and be safe.
Absolutely right. And the one thing I do, I've said it before, and I want to say it again. As states are opening up, and right now more and more states will open. I think we have 43 states that are currently open right now and counting. And that's, by the way, a paramedic that is a paramedic fireman at the Clayton Fire Department, I believe, in Tennessee. Thanks to the New York Times for submitting these pictures today to us. Yeah, I know. Peter is what I'll be called when I'm in a little bit of trouble. Pete normally is okay. Thanks, Charles or Chuck. I appreciate that. But here is the point. As states open up, be sure to know this. There are going to be plenty of people out there, and I don't mean this as a negative, but there will be people that will be asymptomatic. They'll be carrying the disease. They're not going to know it because they're not going to be tested. They're not going to be tested because there aren't enough test kits available. We aren't testing at the aggressive rate that we'd like to. So with that in mind, there's a leap of faith with opening up. But all I can say is if someone out there has some diabetes, is severely overweight, has other underlying conditions, do not venture among them, please. Stay home, be patient, and bide your time and still be in a semi-quarantine way, because you have to remember that 80-90% of the people out there can get through this. My sister and brother-in-law did without much complications. But if you have some one of those compromises, this could be another pressure that you're going to be putting on yourself, your family, and the nurses out there. So be careful, please. Thanks a lot, Charles. You're in the log. Let me get you logged in so everything is good. Thank you, stations. Also, I got to tell you, this for your patience. This is an unusual kind of special event station. It's QSO style. It's informational. We're sharing whatever we know out there, and I implore everybody to share what you know. QRZ, Kilo 2 Hotel, Stroke Sierra Uniform Foxtrot.
Whiskey 0, Mike November. Whiskey 0, Mike November.
Loud and clear, sir. Thank you. Whiskey 0, Mike November. Yeah, you made it real clear where you are. Mike November, thank you. You're in Minnesota. We can't kid you about that. And need your name, the antenna that you're running, and compliments to a beautiful, I'm going to say that's a sunrise over a hill over there in Minnesota. Correct me if I'm wrong. Let me know what antenna you're running and any salute that you'd like to make to the COVID-19 fighters. Over to you, sir.
Okay, this is Stubby Zerman. Name is Gil, Golf India Lima. I'm just running a dipole, 80-meter dipole fed with open wire lines, so I don't get too great the signal most of the time. Like to have a tower and a beam, but it's just not in the cards here. So I'm running a Kenwood TS 590 SG and a Ameritron Linear, about 450, 500 watts right now. So you got your signal is up and down. It's always readable, but it goes anywhere between S7 and 10 over 9. Go back to you. Go ahead, the Stubby Zerman.
Roger, thank you, Gil. Yeah, that's the kind of day it is. It's conditions on 20 are marginal, but we're getting through, and we're getting the message out there. Thanks, Gil. Doing a good job with the dipole. No, you don't need a beam. The dipole's doing a fine job with the amplifier helping out, and I love the 590 SG. What a great rig, and you sound really, really good. Thank you a lot. Thank you so very much for saying hello, and most importantly, saying thank you to the heroes fighting COVID-19. Would you like to make any comment at all on what we've been talking about before your final? Go ahead, Gil.
I don't have much to say. just taking it easy, stay away from close contact, and I get to go outside though. I do a lot of walking, about at least 70,000 steps a week, and that helps this 81-year-old body to keep on moving. So back to you.
81 years young, good for you. That's a key. Sounds like you have a Fitbit because you know the number of steps that you're taking. Keep up the good work. Walking is fantastic. It's good for the body, and it's very, very good for the mind as well. It really, really is. Amazing what a walk will do. We can only keep one thought in our mind at a time. You know, that may sound a little bit simplistic, but that's true. One thought at a time. So during these very difficult times of anxiety, just try to fill your mind with good thoughts, and you'll be okay. When you go for a walk, good thoughts just permeate your mind. Thanks, Gil. I appreciate that. Speaking of Minnesota, I've got a fellow here that's sending a chat to me. His name is Chris, KE6CLF, Charlie Lima Foxtrot. He's been trying to make contact from Minneapolis. I just can't make the trip. I wanted to thank you for doing this event. This is a heartwarming recognition. You're right, to all our frontline workers. So well said, Chris. During the COVID-19 crisis going on, we could not function with our lives without these amazing people. 73 Reasons to Stay Well. Beautifully said, Chris. You're absolutely right. They are our lifeline. They are the lifeboat that's getting us to the ship again. That is for sure. Chris, if you're there and you've got the rig on, let's make contact. I'm going to call you. Right now, I'd like to speak to KE6 Charlie Lima Foxtrot. Chris, go ahead.
Yeah, this is KE6CLF. You copy?
I sure do. Not only do I copy, I'm going to give you a 5 and 8, Chris. 5 and 8. Go ahead. Thanks for talking to me. Thanks for letting me know you're here, and let me know how things are going.
Okay, well, thank you for coming back to me. I think you said your name was Peter. Nice to meet your acquaintance. Yeah, I'm in Minneapolis, Minnesota. I'm running a 450D Yaesu with a G5RV antenna and a inverted. Sorry, I can't really talk. I'm really emotional about a lot of this stuff going on here. But anyways, yeah, inverted D configuration. Yeah, fortunately for me, I have nobody close to me that is being, affected too much by this crisis. But yeah, like I said in my chat, we could not function without these amazing people out there. And yeah, I just want to thank everybody out there that's on the front lines, taking care of all of us while we try to get through this.
Chris, wonderfully said. KC9CLF, I'm so glad you made contact with me. And this is the point. If you cannot reach us, it's not because I'm not listening. It's just because of QSB. It's because of atmospheric conditions. I am more than happy to reach out to you through the chat line. I really am. And that's why I'm streaming, because we're trying to get as many people as we can to talk with us. Chris, you said something very pathetic about emotional. Yes, we are. All of us are certainly carrying this weight. Just want to be sure that you're not alone in carrying this weight, and if you certainly need to reach out to someone, I'm sure you will do that if you're feeling that kind of the walls are closing in a little bit. And clearly, there are a lot of people out there that are certainly willing to help. But I know that even though we may not be at that level, let's say before you want to reach out, you get to a level 8. So we're all levels 3 to 5, and we can handle that. But most importantly, Chris, that the last thing you want to do is watch the 10 or 11 o'clock news. You want to see if you can keep that negative information away from you. You want to have a little information, but the last thing a lot of people do is they watch the news and they go to bed, and their subconscious then just keeps over and over again processing this, and it's just not good for your health. And as the gentleman earlier said, going for a walk is a good thing. So make sure you be kind to yourself and know one thing: we're going to get through this, and things are going to be really better than ever, because we're going to be kinder to each other. Over to you, Chris, for your final, and thank you a million for reaching out and making contact with us. KE6CLF, Kilo 2 Hotel, Special Event, /SUF. Over to you, Chris, for your final.
Okay, Peter, yeah, thank you for those kind words, and yeah, I'm taking it day by day just like everybody else.
Yeah, it's definitely a tough time for everybody, but I can't imagine what it's like for the frontline workers, especially our healthcare workers and first responders, being separated from their families and having to deal with this on a daily basis. But yeah, my prayers go out to all those people again. And again, thank you very much for coming back to me. 73s to everybody listening, and 73s to you. And this is K2H CLF. I'll be clear.
Thank you very much, and I appreciate that. And as your words in your chat message, 73 and stay well. Yes, let's all stay well, stay positive, and yeah, it's hard to fathom. It's hard to fathom to get your head around the fact that these people are at war every single day in various degrees, and they're human beings. They feel a tremendous amount of emotion. You might say, well, they're trained for this. Well, not for this. This is a war. The bullets are germs, and we all need to do as much as we can for them. We're saying thank you. It's a small favor, but it's something, and hopefully they'll pick this up, and we'll put a little smile on their face to know that we're caring and praying for them and hoping for the best. Thanks a lot, Chris. Really a pleasure speaking with you. 73s to you, sir. QRZ. This is, and thank you, spotted by KE4WLE. I appreciate that very, very much. Thank you. QRZ, Kilo 2 Heroes, Stoke Sierra, Uniform, Foxtrot, listening. There's a Charlie, I believe, Charlie Hotel. I heard an Alpha Mike there. We'll get you in a minute. How about that station, Charlie Hotel? Go ahead.
Kilo Bravo 0, Charlie Hotel.
Oh, well done, well done. Thank you so much. Kilo Bravo 0 Charlie Hotel. Well, there you go. I think your name is Wayne by QRZ in Minnesota. And you've got a beautiful, beautiful model plane there. Beautiful red model plane. Almost looks like a Piper Cherokee. I flew those as I was transitioning to glider flying, but I'm not sure it's a Piper. It kind of looks like it. You can correct me if I'm wrong on that. Thanks for making contact with us, Wayne. And I think, as I said, you're in Minnesota, so I'm doing the heavy lifting for you. So all that's left is tell me the antenna you're running, and if you'd like to have any special salutes to the heroes fighting COVID-19. Over to you, Wayne.
Roger, Roger. I'm just running a dipole about 42 feet and 102 foot with ladder lined into a tuner out in the shed outside. So that's the working conditions on this end, and running barefoot.
Well, Wayne, you're doing a fine job, a really good job, putting out a nice signal, and certainly it confirms that you just don't need certainly a big Yagi to get the job done. It can get done, and you did it. Thanks a lot, Wayne, so much for the contact. You're in the log, and any final comments, Wayne, that you'd like to say before we say 73s? Go ahead.
Thank you, Peter. You have a great day, and bless those that are out there working for us. 73.
Thank you so much. Sorry to go out from the mic. Thank you so much, Wayne. Thank you for those kind thoughts, and that will be passed on for sure. 73s to you, sir. QRZ. Oh, I'm sorry. Alpha Mike. Can't forget you. Alpha Mike, come on in.
This is Kilo Echo 0 Echo Alpha Mike. I'd just like to say that I got a wife and a daughter that are both in health care, and I just pray to God that they're protected from this disease. And I'm running a offset dipole, so I'm only running 100 watts. Over.
Oh, Carter, good job. Offset fed dipole. I'll tell you, I ran that for a couple of years, and I love it. If you have the room to be able to spread it out half wave to get on all bands, you're doing fine. And you're doing a good job, a 5 and 7 signal into the station here in Long Island, New York. Again, the name is Peter. Your wife and daughter, give me their first names, would you please, Carter? Go ahead.
Daughter's name is Kayla, and the wife's name is Margaret. Over.
Roger, Kayla and Margaret. We salute you. We pray for you, and we really do believe that we've got the ability to all of us to send out good health wishes, and may there be a blanket over you protecting you. And I'm sure that you're doing everything you can to keep yourself in good shape. The good news is that most healthcare workers, they do have now the equipment, they have the supplies. We're at a point now where we're on the other side of the crisis, where if you made it through this far, things are looking really good. You're going to do just fine if you'll continue to be safe. So Carter, thanks so much. Over to you for final, and thank you very much for giving us a hello today and mentioning your family to us. 73s to you, Carter. Be well. Carter, thank you so much for the time. We really appreciate that. Thanks for stopping by. QRZ, this is Kilo 2 Heroes, Stroke Sierra Uniform Foxtrot. Roger, thank you. Whiskey Bravo 9, Charlie Delta Whiskey. Let's see. No, don't show you in log. I think the first time you contacted our special event station. Thank you so much. I don't think I have the call right because your name didn't come up. I have it as Whiskey Bravo 9, Charlie Delta Whiskey. Please correct all that, and we'll go from there. Over to you, sir.
Okay, try Whiskey Bravo 0, Sierra Kilo Whiskey.
Roger, Whiskey Bravo 0, Sierra Delta Whiskey. Whiskey, let me get that. My hands are not moving as fast as I like. Whiskey Bravo 0, Sierra Delta Whiskey. Do I have that right?
Sierra Kilo Whiskey, SKW. Go ahead.
Okay, I'm going to go through the alphabet here at the rate I'm going. Okay, we got it now. Whiskey Bravo 0, Sierra Kilo Whiskey. Thanks so much for your patience. I think it's Bill in St. Louis. Am I right on that? Go ahead.
Roger on that. Peter, you're fading in and out. You were S9, and now you're down to about S2. Can you come back, please?
Roger, yep, that's happening. That's the problem right now. Whiskey Bravo 0, Sierra Kilo Whiskey. I believe your name is Bill or William in St. Louis. Go ahead.
William in St. Louis, correct. Peter, what was your call again, please? A little bit slower. Go ahead.
My pleasure. Kilo 2 Hotel, that's our special call sign, and we're representing Suffolk County, SUF, Sierra Uniform Foxtrot. QSL?
Very good. Copy on that Kilo 2 Hotel. I was copying traffic on that, and it seems to be some kind of special event. I just got on the air because I finally got my long wire tuned up. I'm putting about 50 watts peak into this thing, but you have a very good signal here in St. Louis, so go ahead.
Yeah, well, your 50 watts and long wire is doing one heck of a job. It proves just throw anything out there. You never know. I had somebody the other day that had a rain gutter antenna, and it was working just fine. Yes, this is an event, William, that is K2H. H stands for Heroes. Special event honoring the heroes fighting COVID-19, all those on the front line fighting the horrific COVID-19 virus. And every time we make a contact like with you, William, it's a thank you to those heroes on the front line. Now, QSL?
QSL, by the way, a comment down here in our location, one of the large hospital outfits is actually furloughing their employees because of the reduction in elective surgery. They're putting people on paid leave. So it seems that if we had such a terrible problem with this coronavirus, it would reflect in the amount of... anyway, you get what I'm trying to say. Go ahead.
Yep, roger that. Roger. Well, hopefully the cases will start to flatten out, and the paid leave is a function of giving them some relief. But we certainly hope that we can all get out there and venture soon. But for now, we still have to be very safe, even though some states are opening up. William, thank you so much. I appreciate the time you took and getting our call in there, and we really thank you for saying thank you to a hero fighting COVID-19. This is Kilo 2 Hotel, Stroke Sierra Uniform Foxtrot, QRZ.
Whiskey 4, Whiskey Kilo November.
Roger, thank you. Whiskey 4, a Whiskey Kilo November. Very good afternoon to you, sir. Name, I think, is David. I think you're located in Paducah, Kentucky, where the Duke of Paducah used to hang out. Correct me if I'm wrong on that, and just give me the antenna using any salute you'd like to make to those wonderful people fighting COVID-19. Back to you, sir.
Okay, Peter, thanks a lot. Kilo 2 Hotel from Whiskey 4, Whiskey Kilo November. Yeah, name is Dave. We are in Paducah. My oldest daughter is a registered dietitian, local hospital here, so she's been right there on the front lines. Very proud of her, but you can tell the strain, that they've been under, and but it's hopefully it's getting better. We're praying for that. So thanks for what you're doing, and we'll say 7-3. This is Whiskey Kilo November.
Thank you, David. Would you mind mentioning her first name to me? I'd like to give a shout out to her. Go ahead.
Yeah, her name's Elizabeth. Over.
Roger. Thanks, Elizabeth. I know you're not hearing me now. You're doing more important work, but thank you. Thank you, Elizabeth. We're streaming, so if you wanted to pick up our stream, it's there, an hour and 39 minutes. So thank you to Elizabeth for the work you're doing. We're very, very proud of you. You are one of the heroes fighting COVID-19. 73's David. Be well, and thanks a lot for saying hello to us and making contact with the special event station. We really, really appreciate that. 73, sir. QRZ. You know, QRZ's not a call. A lot of people at running special event stations, a lot of people in contests especially. I'm not going to mention the countries that do that, but you know who you are. QRZ isn't a call sign. So we'd rather have your call as often as we can, even though the rule says 10 minutes. Kilo 2 Hotel or Hero Stroke Sierra Uniform Foxtrot is listening. Roger, thank you. Alpha Echo 9 Lima. Hope I got the call right. Your name, location, and any comments you'd like to make. Go ahead.
You got this call sign correct. Name is Lima Echo November, located in Indianapolis, Indiana this afternoon. Been listening to you for a while, and sounds like you're having a good run. Thank you for doing what you're doing to recognize people who are putting their life on the line to help others save their lives. Running 100 watts into a Carolina Wyndham. It's up 23 feet inside the attic of a one-story house. Over.
That's great. Carolina Wyndham. They're very effective antennas and inside the attic of the house. So folks out there, amateur radio operators that may be just listening and saying, I don't have enough of an antenna to get on the air. If Len can do it, you could do it. And Indianapolis, you know, it's not like it's Colorado where you're up 5,000 feet. Good work, Len. Good work. And thank you so much for saluting the heroes on the front lines. We really do appreciate that very, very much. And we do look forward to getting back to the Indianapolis 500. Hopefully next year things will be better than ever. And I'm really hopeful that we will be better than ever for sure. 73s, any finals, Len, before we move on to the next station? Go ahead.
Just to say things are kind of quiet this day in Indianapolis, but things will pick up in August. So thank you a lot for what you're doing. This is Alpha Echo 9 Lima, 73.
73's, a pleasure, Len. Thank you so much. We're enjoying passing the message on. We really are. I believe there's a station X-Ray that's a Mobile. Go ahead. Roger Gilbert, Mobile in Wisconsin. Thanks, Gil. A little bit of QSB, but I've got you. Thanks a lot. Thank you for your kind thoughts. Yep, we are really hoping and praying that we will sooner than later move on to lives as normal as we can make them. 73s and good driving, and thanks so much for taking the time to make the call from Wisconsin. We really appreciate that. QRZ, Kilo 2 Hero Stroke Sierra Uniform Foxtrot listening.
Yankee Bravo Lima Portable.
Roger, Yankee Bravo Lima Portable standby. I believe there's a K9 station. Go ahead.
K9EID. Hi, Peter.
Oh, hello there. K9EID. Yes, Robert, thank you. Good afternoon from Fair Heights, Illinois. Oh, Robert. Yeah, you know, I think I need a break because for the moment I said, wait a minute, I know this just fantastic fellow. Gentlemen out there, this is Bob Heil. Bob, wonderful to hear your voice, and I can't tell you how thrilled I was to be invited for the broadcast. We had a wonderful time. K9EID, this is Kilo 2H Stroke SUF. Over to you, Bob.
Well, thank you very much, and thanks for all you're doing, Peter. I won't hold it because tons of people are calling. Just wanted to say hi and have a good day. Greetings to all. This is K9EID, Belleville, Illinois.
Roger, Bob, thank you so much. Thanks a lot for taking the time also to speak with us. We're thrilled every time we speak with you. Thank you so very, very much. 73's, good health, have a good day, and we look forward to speaking with you again. Again, for those that have not had the opportunity to listen to Ham Radio Nation on Twit TV, please do that. If you haven't, it's just a wonderful broadcast. You'll enjoy yourself. There's a lot of information that's being discussed and dispensed. And it's a lot of fun. There's a lot of good times on it. So please, every Wednesdays, Ham Radio Nation. 73, Bob's good health, and thanks so much for spending some time with us. Be well, sir. 73s.
WB6LVH.
So long, Bob. WB6L something. Go ahead. Roger, yeah, as it has been today, Alan, is QSB on your signal. Come back again. I'm sure I'll get you again. Whiskey Bravo 6, come back again, please.
Whiskey Bravo 6, Zulu Hotel.
Roger, okay, I've got here, I think I'm missing a letter. So I have Whiskey Bravo 6 Zulu Hotel. Is that the call, or is there more to it? Go ahead.
Whiskey Bravo 6 Lima Zulu Hotel.
Okay, I got it that time. Third time is a charm, as they say. Whiskey Bravo 6, Lima Zulu Hotel. Thank you so very, very much. Yeah, conditions are in and out. Location and your name. Go ahead. Thanks, Alan, very, very much from Louisiana. Appreciate that. We talk some more, but conditions are really fading. So we'll do it another time, Alan. And thanks so much for saying thank you to a hero fighting COVID-19. QRZ, this is Special Event Station honoring the heroes fighting COVID-19. Kilo 2 Hotel, stroke Sierra Uniform Foxtrot. I believe there's a Kilo Delta 9. Go ahead.
Kilo Delta 9 Oscar Quebec Kilo.
Thank you very much. I'm glad I'm not on CW. I'd have a handful with that. Kilo Delta 9 Oscar Quebec Kilo. Thank you so very much. Your name, your location, and the antenna you're running. Go ahead.
My name is Tom. I am in central Wisconsin, a city named Wausau, and I'm operating with a fan dipole.
Tom, that's one heck of a job you're doing. Thank you very much with the dipole. Really appreciate that. Tom, I'm looking at a family picture. Is that you, Tom, in front with your black T-shirt on? Go ahead.
Roger. That's me, and just behind me to my right is my wife.
That's terrific. God bless you, Go. It looks like a wonderful family. May you all be very, very healthy for a long, long time, and thanks for making contact with us from Warsaw. Before I leave you, Tom, any comments you'd like to make regarding the heroes fighting COVID-19? Go ahead.
Well, about a year ago, I retired. I didn't work at the local hospital. I wasn't in healthcare per se. I was in computers, but I know a lot of the people working in the local hospital. I know they're really working hard and doing a great job. Over.
Well, that's right. And Tom, if you can, if you have any nurses, EMTs, doctors, anyone that may be on the front lines at that hospital that you worked with, please give them a call. Say hello. How you doing? How you feeling? And a lot of them just need another voice that's not directly in the line of fire to talk with them, and maybe they'll reveal some of their feelings, and maybe you could do them some good, because the anxiety is just overwhelming. Thanks, Tom. 73s to you, and enjoy that beautiful family you have, and thanks so much for making contact with us. Over to you for a final, Tom. Thanks for the time in Warsaw. 73, sir.
Yeah, I do have one family member who is in healthcare. She doesn't work at that hospital, but my daughter Emily. So I sure appreciate the job she's doing, and she really does a good job of taking care of me and my wife, at least. So, over.
Well, that's a start. You bet. That's the most important thing. And a shout out to Emily. Emily, thank you so much for being so caring. People like Emily are picked. they're picked and they're blessed, and they do a job that's just incredible. Very few people can do that. They are as talented as anyone else that, let's say, drives in Formula One. They've got that kind of level talent. Thanks, Tom. 73s to you, and thanks so much for sharing that information with us. Be well and have a really good day. Let's see, I got a call here from KE0YBL. Were you able to copy KE0YBL portable earlier? Let me just see. I'm looking at KE0YBL. Gee whiz. What is his first name? I'm looking down the log here. KE0YBL. If you give me his first name, because I don't see it on the first page of the log. I think I did. But let's see. Are you KE0YBL? Yeah. So let's see. You had said I was next. Oh, let's see. Well, let me just see. Yes, I did. Yep. You are in the log. Let me take a thank you, station. Stand by 1 second. Let me take a quick look at the log. YBL. I'm just putting your call in here. No, actually, KE0YBL. Is that you're Jonathan? Are you Jonathan in Magnolia, Minnesota? Go ahead, go ahead. You're still listening. Are you Jonathan Magnolia? Let me know if you are, and we'll just copy that from there. Let me know if you're Jonathan. I'll stand by right now for a second.
Roger. This is Jonathan. Just wasn't sure if I was getting out. You had mentioned my call earlier, and then had talked to Bob, and I just didn't hear if you had came back over.
Oh, Jonathan, thank you very, very much. No, I guess I neglected to, so thank you very much. Yeah, I guess I just somehow neglected. Nope, you're in the log, Jonathan, so you're on board. Just tell me anything you'd like to say at all saluting the heroes that we're talking about today, Jonathan. Go ahead.
No, well, we're absolutely glad for the folks who are spending the time and putting their effort in and staying safe doing all of this work. We definitely appreciate it. My daughter and I are just out in the yard running off a battery on a mag loop sort of propped up, and wasn't sure if we'd be able to get out to the world, but seem to be getting there. Over.
The mag loop, I think your daughter is giving a little extra special powers because, yeah, you're a 5 and 5 getting through just real fine. I'm glad. Thank you very much for making contact with me, and thank you for letting me know on the chat because sometimes with so many stations, it's hard for a lot of stations to get through. So you're a winner. Thank you so much. Hey, enjoy the day with your daughter, and thanks so much for reaching out to me. 73s, be healthy and have fun. 73s, Jonathan. My pleasure. There you go. See, that works. Thanks a lot for your patience, guys. I'm glad we were able to work Jonathan. QRZ. I've been here now, 2 hours plus. This is Kilo 2 Hero Stroke Sierra Uniform Foxtrot.
Kilo Alpha 4, Tango Romeo Victor, over.
Roger, good signal. Kilo Alpha 4, Tango Romeo Victor. It's nice to get a signal that's not fading in and out. Your name, your location, any comments you'd like to make on the heroes fighting the frontline COVID-19. Go ahead.
Yeah, the name here is J, Juliet Alpha Yankee. Call is Kilo Alpha 4, Tango Romeo Victor, and Clever, Missouri, over.
Roger, gotcha, Jay. Clever, Missouri. That's a place I've never spoken with. Any comments you'd like to make at all regarding who we're saluting today, the heroes fighting COVID-19? Go ahead.
Yes, I really just want to salute my daughter. She just spent 21 days in New York City. And she's back. She's been tested. She's not positive. I get to spend the week with her. Over.
Oh, that is just wonderful. Congratulations. 21 days in New York. What a sacrifice that she's made, and so glad that she came back without any positive testing at all. Could you give me her first name, Jay? Go ahead.
Yes, her name is Andrea. Over.
Andrea. Oh, that's wonderful. Thanks, Andrea. Thank you for helping us out here. At one point, the capital of coronavirus, the epicenter. Thanks, Jay. Anything else you'd like to add? Go ahead.
No, I just wanted to say thanks for all of our health people and what you're doing. Over.
Well, absolutely right. I want to thank very, very much those people that are on the front lines. I worked for a period of time as a volunteer at one of our local hospitals, basically taking people to mass on Sunday mornings, and it's just a wonderful feeling to be able to doing something for someone that is not as able to, and these nurses, these doctors, EMTs, just incalculable the job that they're doing. 73s to you. Thank you so much, Jay, for mentioning your daughter to us. That's terrific. QRZ, Kilo 2 Hero, Stroke Sierra Uniform Foxtrot. I'll bet you didn't think I could hear you. Whiskey Bravo 6, India Victor Foxtrot. Thank you so very much. Boulder, Colorado, if I'm not mistaken. I think it's Jerry or Gerard. Just let me know about that, and hopefully you can copy me. Whiskey Bravo 6, India Victor Foxtrot. Thank you so much. Kilo 2 Hotel. Over to you, sir.
Oh, I copy you 5 and 9. We are a QRP station here, and thank you for hearing us and coming back. And I just want to say thank you to all the heroes. So far I've been unaffected, but I know people who have. So thank you, and the name is Gerard, G-E-R-A-R-D, or Jerry with a G. I appreciate it. 73. This is WB6IVF.
Oh, thank you, Gerard. Wonderful. The signal didn't move a bit. A 5 and 5. What kind of antenna are you using, Gerard? What kind of antenna? Go ahead.
I'm using a dipole of about 20 feet and an Elecraft Kilo X-Ray 3.
Roger, dipole 20 feet with Elecraft. And how much power are you running QRP? Go ahead. Wonderful. That is fantastic. Stations, if you didn't hear him, he's a 5 and 5 here. 10 watts, battery powered, and on a dipole. Isn't that fantastic? From Boulder, Colorado, almost 2,000 miles to the east, to the west of us. That's fantastic. Jerry, thank you so much. 73s, and thank you for taking the time, making the effort, saying thank you to those heroes fighting COVID-19. Glad things are not so bad there. Over to you for a final 70s, Jerry. You're a hero making contact like that. 73, sir. Thank you very, very much, WB6IVF. Hope other stations heard him. It's an honor to speak with a QRP station with 10 watts. That's really making an effort. That's one of the spirits of amateur radio. You can do a lot of different things. What a challenge, though! What a challenge to work QRP 10 watts to be here in New York. Now, I got to tell you, I am in a quiet location. I also am very fortunate to have a radio, this Flex radio, the 6400M, that has a very low noise floor, really low noise floor, so it's able to really hear very, very well. Where other radios that I've had perhaps were a noise floor 5 or 6. My noise floor here is about a 2, and so that helps a lot. But you're doing the heavy lifting out there, Jerry, not me. 73s, QRZ, Kilo 2 Hotel, Stroke Sierra Uniform Foxtrot.
November 0, Delta, Romeo.
A lot of strong stations coming in. November 0, I believe it's Kilo Quebec Romeo. Go ahead.
Yes, sir. November 0, Kilo Quebec Romeo. Handle here is Corey, Charlie, Oscar, Romeo Yankee, about 20 miles north of downtown Kansas City, Missouri. Copy.
Roger, 20 miles north of downtown Kansas City. That's great. That means you could get to Kauffman Stadium. Although I don't know if they're calling it Kauffman Stadium anymore. I enjoyed a few games there when I was traveling out to the Midwest, and mostly what I liked was how nice the people were in the stadium. I mean, it was a pleasure. It was a family stadium, and I even though that stadium has been around for a long, long time. It still was a great opportunity. Sorry to get on stadiums, but I do enjoy stadiums around the country. That's a good one for sure. Corey, thanks a lot. Any comments? Let me know the antenna that you're running there, number one. Number two, any specific salutes you'd like to give to the fighters on the front line fighting COVID-19. Over to you, Corey.
Yes, sir. I'm running the radio I'm running here is an ICOM 706 Mark II-D, standard 100 watts into a random link end-fed antenna with a 9-to-1 Bowlen on it. Copy.
I do copy. Yeah, the NFED is doing a good job, and a 706 always does well. That's good. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Good job, Corey. Any comments at all on what we've been talking about, saluting the heroes fighting COVID-19? Okay, go ahead.
Now, I'd just like to thank all the first responders who might be out there. Thank you. I know it's a battle, it's a war, and thank you for the effort.
Yep, you're sure right. It is a battle. It is a war, and we can't thank them enough for putting their life on the line. Thanks so much, Corey. 73s, enjoy the day. QRZ, this is Kilo 2 Hero, stroke Sierra Uniform Foxtrot. The station ending in Echo first, the station ending in Echo. Go ahead.
Roger, it's Kilowatt Charlie 5, India Echo. My name is Chris. I'm in Tulsa, Oklahoma, right in the center of town. You sound like you're in the room with me. You have a terrific signal here.
Thank you, Chris. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. I really do. Thanks a lot for that report. And I'm most proud to be able to get out there and be able to talk to as many people around the country and around the world that I could. And so we're using up some tubes, but it's worth it. Thanks a lot, Chris from Tulsa. Really got a nice signal here, by the way, about a 5 and 9. Any comments you'd like to make regarding what we've been discussing for the last couple of hours? Go ahead, Chris. Thank you, Chris. Yep, we haven't saluted them today, but the postal carriers are really a vital part of the essential people on the front lines. And yes, they are out there, and there's exposure to them as well. Their motto, I think they have to add one, and that's basically a war, which is what they're involved with. It's the war of germs, and I think to the rain, the snow, the sleet, all the other conditions that they go through, this is something that was not written in their charter. So thank you, Chris, for acknowledging the postal people. We have a wonderful carrier. His name is Matt on our route, and he does a phenomenal job. He really, really does, and he does it every day with a smile. Thanks, Chris. 73s to you. Be well. Good health. QRZ, Kilo 2 Hotel, stroke Sierra Uniform Foxtrot.
Whiskey 9 Radio Foxtrot.
Roger, thank you. Whiskey 9 Radio Foxtrot, big signal here into Long Island, New York. The name is Peter. Your name, I believe, yeah, we spoke before. Hi, Joe from Heron, Illinois. Thanks so much for making contact with us. And any comments you'd like to make on what we've been discussing? Over to you, Joe.
Okay, Peter. Well, thanks much. Still got a Cushcraft A4S at 45 feet. I want to thank all the first responders and all the help that we've had from everybody. I appreciate it all. Stay healthy and stay safe. By the way, you're a 5'9 plus 20 in Illinois.
Thank you so much, Joe. Yeah, you got a big signal here as well, and we acknowledge the thanks you're giving to all those folks. And one of the words that I'd like to add as well is please get help. Get help if you need it. Do not keep this to yourself. We know what you're going through. We know the pain that you're going through every day. Everybody has a different level, and everybody has a different tolerance level. Please, if you're feeling the least bit anxiety and getting overwhelmed, please reach out for help. There's plenty of it there for sure. 73s, Joe. Thanks a lot. QRZ, Kilo 2 Hotel, stroke Sierra Uniform Foxtrot. There's a not a good station. There's a Kilo 0 first. Kilo 0, go ahead.
Kilo 0, Delta X-Ray Victor Mobile, Doug in Colorado.
Roger, Doug. Thank you. Got your signal here. Yep, you're in the log, Doug in Colorado. Thanks so much. I believe it's Clark, Colorado, as my QRZ page tells me. Got a whole bunch of equipment there. I'm looking on the shelf. I don't know, Doug, how you're keeping that equipment on the shelf. Oh, I see a couple of nice thick pieces of wood under there. I was going to say, how the heck do you keep that up? Looks like some heavy weight up there. Anyway, thanks for sharing the picture with us. Any comments you'd like to make on what we've been discussing, Doug? Go ahead.
Yeah, Roger. Well, I'm an EMT, and I just want to mention that we should be thankful for all those people on the front lines who have given their lives in the service of their citizens, their community, and their country.
Doug, thank you, and thank you for your service as well. Yesterday, we celebrated Armed Forces Day, and let me make sure I have this right. Were you in the military, Doug? Go ahead.
Roger, I was Army.
Army proud. Thank you so much. Yes, yesterday I was showing many pictures of West Point and really enjoyed doing that. And what I'm going to do now is put a picture up of my American flag that I have. The Spirit of 76 is right behind me right now as I'm viewing that on my live stream, and with a thank you balloon behind that. Thank you, Doug, for your service in the military. Thank you for the sacrifice that you gave. So glad you're among us, and you know what it's like to be in a war. Unfortunately, these people weren't prepared for their war, and they're getting wounded heavily, and we just hope that the PTSD that they're getting is going to be understood, and they'll be able to have some clinical results for it. Over to you, Doug, for your final. Thanks so much for that information. Over to you, sir.
Okay, well, thanks for the contact, and I've been listening to you and all the various stations that have contacted you, and certainly appreciate your bringing attention to the frontline people who are sacrificing so much. 73 K0DXV Mobile.
K0DXV Mobile. Thank you so much. Yes, that's what this is about. I mean, there's a number of certainly tentacles to what we're doing. Bringing attention, saying thank you, giving some advice. Everybody's giving some advice on what can be done. But most importantly, we're doing what we really love to do as amateur radio operators, and that's communicate. And hopefully a lot of that information is being duplicated out there. Thanks so much, safe mobiling out there, and thank you so very much for sharing your story with us. We really sincerely appreciate that. This is Kilo 2 Hero Stroke Sierra Uniform Foxtrot listening.
Whiskey 4,
Whiskey Bravo 5, Delta Romeo India.
Roger, Delta Romeo India, stand by. I believe there's a Whiskey 4. Whiskey 4, come on in.
Whiskey 4, X-Ray Juliet.
Roger, thank you. Whiskey 4 X-Ray Juliet. Welcome to the club. We do appreciate your contact very much. Your name, your location, any comments that you might have on what we've been discussing. Go ahead.
Roger. The name here is Randy, Romeo Alpha, November David Yankee, located in Kansas City, Missouri, and really enjoyed your Ham Nation appearance. Go ahead.
Randy, thank you so much. I really thank you for acknowledging that. It was set up so nicely. Bob Heil and Gordon West. They are a delightful group to work with. They really make it very, very comfortable for you, and it's a show that has so much respect around the country and around the world. And we know, of course, Bob Heil, we all do, how much he's contributed to the radio hobby and to, of course, the musical industry as well. I mean, he is a superstar. Thanks so much for saying that. I really enjoyed getting the message out, and hopefully I communicated that in a clear, concise way. Randy, go ahead.
Roger, yeah, you did a great job, and I think you really conveyed the spirit of what's going on right now, and I know we're all doing our part the best way we know how, and wanting to acknowledge especially the first responders. And I think for those of us involved in ARES and other emergency communications know what these guys are going through on a day-by-day basis. So 73, thank you, and keep up the good work from Whiskey 4 X-Ray Juliet.
Thank you, Randy, so very much. And once again, everybody, if you haven't tuned into Ham Radio Nation, I don't care if you tune into me or not, but I think you'll enjoy the various broadcasts. They're all saved on TWIT TV, TWIT, but just go to Ham Radio Nation and you'll find out what's going on. They're just fantastic, fun people to be around. Thanks a lot for making mention of a show I have a tremendous amount of respect for. And what I wanted to convey was that we're all in this together. All of us have one way or another some type of anxiety, and we're all sharing that here using the platform of amateur radio. And indeed, of course, I always went through the extra effort to stream this. I'm streaming this through Twitch TV with my call sign, Whiskey 2 Juliet Victor. And I do appreciate people that are following me, because that's going to help basically subsidize the expenses that we personally go through. So everybody, thank you very much for spending time, for listening on that. And thanks, Randy, for your wonderful comments too, for sure. 73, sir. Kilo 2 Hero Stroke Sierra Uniform Foxtrot listening.
Kilo Fox 5 Tango Papa Tango.
Kilo Fox 5 Tango. I don't think I have that right. Kilo Fox 5 Tango Fox Tango. Don't think I have that right. Please correct me. Go ahead.
It's Tango Papa Tango, and don't worry, everybody gets it wrong.
I don't know why. Not so bad. Oh, look at that. I'm saying, look at that car. Oh man, that's a beautiful Ford. Yeah, I've seen that car, but of course black and white on the Andy Griffith Show. Not exactly that car. But thank you, Jim and Paula. Paula is holding the sign, and Yeah, looks like it looks like you're sitting in a jet there. Tell me about that. And that's a beautiful car. Oh yeah, I'm looking at the U.S. Air Force. Thank you. Yeah, I had the Thunderbirds. I had them yesterday for VE Day. By the way, not VE Day, Armed Forces Day. Jim, a belated Happy Armed Forces Day. Give me a little background about yourself, a little bit. Gorgeous looking car there as well. Nice QRZ. Nice picture on QRZ. So I think you're in Olive Branch, Mississippi. I think your name is Jim, and I know there's Paula there as well. And certainly, finally, any salute you'd like to make to the heroes fighting COVID-19. Over to you, Jim.
Appreciate that. Yeah, that's a 1956 Ford. I've had it in 3 movies so far, and what you're seeing me sitting in is a P-51 Mustang. I got to fly one of those. I got an hour's time in it, and that was an amazing experience. And I do want to say something about our first line responders out there, and I hope this COVID brought them to the forefront. But guys, just remember that what they're doing today, they do every day, every hour of their career. It's not just now. They've been doing this ever since they stepped into that field. So don't forget that they always put their lives on the line regardless of what is going on. This COVID just brings it out to the forefront because it's so massive. But they're out there with AIDS, they're out there with viruses, they're out there with fires, earthquakes, tornadoes. They're always there when they're needed, and they should be saluted every day. KFICPT, back to you.
Thank you, sir, very much. Kilo Foxtrot 5, Tango, Papa Tango. Thank you, Jim. Thank you then for acknowledging the 56 Ford and the P-51 Mustang. I see them fly over me. We are very close to Farmingdale Airport. It's actually Republic, and we miss every year. I don't know if you've heard of the Air Power Museum, but every single year we're there at the Air Power Museum with a special event in Farmingdale, New York. We're Republic. They built many of the planes and jets that flew in Vietnam, and we unfortunately had to miss it this year. Thanks so much, Jim. And yes, just to echo your comments for people that did not hear that, these EMTs, nurses, doctors, specialists, pulmonologists, you name it, nephrologists, they are there on the front lines every single day, and we certainly never put them in the forefront of our minds because it's business as usual. But when there's a 9/11, you're right. When there's an earthquake, when there's a hurricane, when there's COVID-19, they're there, and they're going in every single day, suiting up and getting ready. This time it's a war, probably the worst event they've ever been involved with, but nevertheless they're serving. And as you served as well, they're serving every day. Thanks a lot, Jim. Thanks for that. That's what this broadcast is all about, just to share all that information and bringing people that we have not paid a lot of attention to. Just assume they're always there. And if we're fortunate enough never to go through the revolving doors of a hospital and having it being admitted to a smiling healthcare professional, we're now highlighting it and putting the big spotlight on it today. Thanks, Jim. 73s to you, and enjoy the hobbies. 1 hour in a P-51. You're a special, special man. Thanks so much. 73s, Jim, and hello to Paula as well. Be well, sir.
Appreciate that. 73. Have a great week.
I will. This has been fun for sure. Thanks a lot, Jim. 73s. QRZ. This is Kilo 2 Hero Stroke Sierra Uniform Foxtrot at your service and listening.
Whiskey Bravo 5 Delta Romeo India.
I think you must be illegal. I think you're running probably about, 3,000 watts. I'm only kidding. Whiskey Bravo 5 Delta Romeo India. This is Kilo 2 Hotel. Nice signal, about 20 over 9. That's all it is. You can maybe share some of that power with some of these other folks. Tell me what you're running in terms of the antenna system. And I think your name is Brian, if I'm not mistaken, but there's a G in front of it, so I may be mistaken. I think you're in San Antonio. So give me any information you need and tell me if you'd like to say a salute to any of the heroes. Over to you, sir.
Yes, sir. Kilo 2 Hotel. This is WB5DRI, and the name is Brian, and I did not catch your name. Over.
Shame on me. It's Peter. I don't say it enough. Papa Echo Tango Echo Romeo, Brian. Go ahead.
Roger, Peter. Well, real fine. You're 5'9" in San Antonio this afternoon, and I just wanted to say thanks to all those first responders and all those medical folks and EMTs and
all the nurses and doctors that are out there on the front lines. They're the heroes. They really are doing a great job, and they do it every day without fail and with no hesitation. And they are the true heroes in this fight. And I just hope they all stay safe and we get this thing licked and out of the way as quickly as possible and behind us as a distant memory. So anyway, thank you for what you're doing there, Peter, and 73s to you. I'm just running about 600 watts into a G5 RV in my backyard there, Peter. So that's working conditions here. It's an ICOM 7300 with an ICOM PW1. So 73s to you. Thanks again for what you're doing. Kilo 2 Henry, WB5 DRI. Back to you.
Thank you, Brian. Thank you so very much for those kind words to the heroes on the front lines fighting COVID-19. We really do appreciate your comments very, very much. Thank you. And we will certainly pass the word on to them as often as we can. Right now, what I'm going to do, since you said we can't say thank you enough to the nurses, standby stations, I'm just going to play a short little thank you to the nurses right now that's streaming on Twitch TV. Stand by one moment. QRX, Kilo 2 Heroes, Stroke Sierra Uniform Foxtrot, QRX for just about 30 seconds. Okay, I'm just turning the volume off. Let's just play this now while we're over here. There you go. You make me strong. To those who run towards the danger. That's what we were talking about. Yep. Thank you very much, Northwell Health Hospital, very close and near and dear to us. I hope you guys like that on our Twitch TV stream. Thanks a lot, stations. Thank you. I appreciate that very much. We just played a little spot. A thank you to the nurses from Northwell Hospital. QRZ, this is Kilo 2 Hotel, Stroke Sierra Uniform Foxtrot. Sorry, stations, I didn't have the audio up. I forgot to turn the audio back on our live feed here. So once again, QRZ, Kilo 2 Hotel, Stroke Sierra Uniform Foxtrot.
Kilo Juliet 9 Zulu.
Kilo, a big signal, Kilo Juliet 9 Zulu. Thank you so very much for the call. Wow, I'm looking at a very interesting antenna configuration. Yes, it looks like, I'm trying to think about that. Is that a MA40? I'm not sure, but that's a nice shot. Tell me a little bit about that. I think your name is James or Jim from the beautiful state of Indiana. Confirm that, Jim and or James. My apology if I got that wrong. And any salutes to the heroes. Over to you, KJ9Z.
Well, it is Jim, and that is a K4KIO hex beam on a 37 feet at the bottom of the bowl there, 37-foot rotating mast with the rotator at the bottom. It's suspended in a couple of pillow block bearings and a pretty large aluminum channel. And I can tip it over on a single bolt. I can pivot it over so I can access the antenna if necessary. My tribute would be to all of the, I don't know if thank you is the right word. My tribute would be to the people that have put their businesses and their lives in jeopardy for the sake of others. And I think that speaks so well of this great country of ours in spite of all the political nonsense that's out there. So thank you for allowing me the time to voice that, and thank you for putting this special event on. Appreciate it very much. Jim, KJ9Z.
Roger, Jim. Thank you very much. Those are very thoughtful, very well put words, Jim. KJ9Z. This is K2H Stroke Sierra Uniform Foxtrot. Yes. Businesses have stepped aside. Yes, there's a rule of law, but nevertheless, that's almost a suggestion. They backed away. In many cases, we know a few businesses that are not going to be coming back. The tremendous sacrifices they made in the economy as well. But, you know, like the seesaw at the playground, clearly we were walking on a tightrope. On one hand, we really didn't want to close down the businesses. We really didn't want to close down the economy. However, in the beginning, in the first few months, this was just running so rampant, and we were losing too many people and too many healthy people. So we had no choices. But now things are opening up. Hopefully, most of those people are going to get financial protection. The SBA will help them. And we, the consumers, we have an obligation to them. And what is that obligation? It is to give them as much business as we can and pay them a little extra. Give them more. I mean, we've gotten some checks. A lot of us have gotten some subsidy checks from the government. I think a lot of us should generously and vigorously try to share some of that to the restaurateurs, to the people cutting hair, you name it. Anyone out there that has had to put their business aside, and that's certainly a large majority of them. Let's be nice to them, and let's give them a thank you as well when the time comes. Thanks, Jim, for letting me make an extra mention of that. Over to you for a final, and thank you for your description on that very unique and very effective antenna system. 73s, Jim, over to you for your final.
Well, again, thank you very much. Would you mind letting me have your personal call sign?
My pleasure. The personal call sign, which I'm forgetting because who am I? It's Whiskey 2, Juliet Victor. Whiskey 2, Japan, Victoria. QSL?
It's a terrific call. Thank you very much for being out there today. I do appreciate it, and it kind of adds a little fun to the boredom of the day sometimes. So carry on and have a great time. 73, stay safe, my friend, all to you and your family, and we'll talk to you again soon, hopefully. KJ9Z.
Thank you, Jim. Very, very eloquently put. Yeah, this is doing as much good for me as everyone else out there, and I'm privileged to be able to have the opportunity to have the station to be able to do this special event. Thank you so very, very much from the bottom of my heart. Really do appreciate that. 73s to you. QRZ. This is Kilo 2 Hotel. Stroke Sierra Uniform Foxtrot. And by the way, before I leave you, one more thing. Thank you for your compliments, Jim, on the call. I am the third caretaker of the call. It was first issued in 1929. The gentleman owned it before me was a World War II veteran. He basically was an Air Corps electronics technician. He was decorated a number of times for his contributions. And in honor of my dad, who had a similar position, they were in the war about the same time. When it came time to look at the auctions, I looked around. I did want a call that would work on CW. Sometimes just this one doesn't work too well with the J, but nevertheless, it was more important to have a call that had some meaning to me and some history. So I'm very happy to be the third caretaker of Whiskey 2 Juliet Victor. Thanks a lot, Jim, for acknowledging that. I'm very proud of the call. QRZ. This is Kilo 2 Hero Stroke Sierra Uniform Foxtrot.
Washington State, Whiskey 7, Mike Bravo Romeo.
Roger. There's a K3. We'll get you in a moment. Hopefully I won't forget. Whiskey 7. Mike Bravo Romeo. Yeah, when I hear Washington State, I stand at attention because my sister-in-law may be listening. She lives in Easton, Easton, Washington. Now, I don't know where the heck you are. I'm going to say Montesano. I don't know where that is. You got to help me with that. And I think your name is David or Dave. And thank you for a lovely picture. There's some real, looks like you got some Collins S-line going on in there. Tell me about that. And, of course, the most important thing is to salute a hero. So I look forward to that comment. Over to you, sir.
Well, thank you, and I second, throw that right back at you, sir. I've been listening a while. You're doing a very good job here on the frequency. Band not that good, but I'm hearing you quite well. You're about an 8 in Montesano, 80 miles south of Seattle, 35 miles west of Olympia, and about 25 miles from the west coast. I've been out here since September. We moved in from Utah, and I'm using an old 1958 Gold Dust Twins Collins radio right now into a Buckmaster dipole, about 120 feet at the apex in the big fir trees, Douglas firs out here. So that's the situation here. Go ahead.
David, thank you. Yeah, it's great to have those Douglas firs, and the Buckmasters work very, very well. Sometimes a little pricey, but they are very effective. And Collins S-line, it's like I'm listening to a vinyl radio. It's got that really very, very unique special tone. Thank you very much for that. Thank you for that background. And yeah, 80 miles south of Seattle, yeah, much better shape than my sister-in-law because, as you know, Easton Washington is in the Cascades, and when you have rain, she has snow and lots of it. As a final, David, any salutes, particularly or in general, to any of the heroes fighting COVID-19 that we've been talking about? Over to you for a final, David.
Well, I'll salute my two children, my son-in-law, my daughter, who lost their jobs, regular jobs. So they are Ubers, and they are delivering food to people in the area. So a big salute to them. And again, I'm former Air Force, Vietnam, aircraft radio repairman on the B-52s and the 135s back in the mid-60s. Go ahead.
Oh, that's fantastic. That's good. Yeah, I enjoyed celebrating yesterday Armed Forces Day, and with a lot of pictures and a lot of all the services represented. Thank you so much for your service, and that was a busy job for you. Thank you that everything worked out well. Yes, your two children. Salute to them. That's a wonderful service they're doing. May I have their first names, please, David? Go ahead.
Candy, C-A-N-D-E-E, and Brandon. Go ahead.
Alrighty, salute to Candy and Brandon. While you could be hanging out at home, watching videos or shooting hoops, you're out there delivering food and supplies. Thank you so much for your service, and I think your DNA of service is passed on to them. Thanks, David, so very much. 73's to you. Any final thoughts before we move on? Go ahead.
Well, I would like to salute you too. You're doing a great job, and I hope we all get through this. Hopefully, this is Whiskey 7, Mike Bravo Romeo. You take care.
Well, thank you, Whiskey 7, Mike Bravo Romeo, and congratulations on your move to Washington State. Utah's a beautiful state. Have a friend of mine living in St. George. That's really fantastic there. And good luck and be safe there as well. And thank you for acknowledging the work that we're doing. We're proud to do it. We're very happy to carry the message and carry the thank you. So far, 14,000 thank yous, which began on May 1st, and we're going to go through the 31st of May with the special event station. Thank you so very much, David. 73's QRZ, Kilo 2 Hotel, Stroke Sierra Uniform Foxtrot listening. Right, a station I believe that ends in Juliet. Go ahead. Roger, thank you very, very much. Great. X-Ray Echo 1, Yankee Foxtrot Juliet. I believe I have Francisco here, and I believe you're located in Ciudad de Mexico. Give me your exact location. I think it's Hidalgo, in Mexico. Tell me if I'm wrong. Go ahead. Over to you, sir.
Okay, I'm in the northwest of Mexico City. Your signal here 5 by 9, the northwest of Mexico City.
Roger. Okay, thank you. Northwest of Mexico City. Thank you so very, very much. I appreciate that. And are you, your QRZ page is very fascinating, Francisco. Are you driving? Is that a BMW Roadster that you're driving? Go ahead.
Okay. Your signal is very, very nice, very clear here in Mexico.
Francisco, I understand. Thank you so much, and thank you for making contact with the special event station, first station in Mexico that I've contacted today. 73's to you, and your signal, by the way, is 5 and 7. 5 and 7. Thank you for. I'm being spotted by Whiskey 9 Romeo Foxtrot. Thank you so very much. I appreciate that. 73's, and good luck and be well. QRZ, Kilo 2 Hero, Stroke Sierra Uniform Foxtrot.
K7ZIN, K7ZIN.
K7, I believe DIN. Let me make sure I have that right. Is that K7 Delta India November? Go ahead.
Kilo 7 Zulu India November.
Roger, Zulu India November. Yes, sometimes those letters do get a little bit mixed up. Thank you so much, sir. Name is Peter, Pop Echo Tango Echo Romeo, located in New York, 45 miles from New York City. I believe your name is Ray, and I think you're in Helena. Over to you, sir.
Roger. You nailed it. So yes, that's correct.
Thank you, Ray, so very much. Ray, what kind of antenna are you running? You got a great signal, and also let me know if you'd like to salute any of the heroes fighting COVID-19. Over to you, sir.
You're off center, that dipole.
Oh, that's good. That's good. Doing a wonderful job, the OCF. Thanks so very much, Ray. Would you like to have any final comments to the heroes we've been talking about today fighting COVID-19? Over to you.
I just think they're wonderful people. I just say thank you so much for all you do. Don't like your governor very well, though.
Understand? Oh, it's okay. Everybody is entitled. That's America. An opinion is something you certainly can have, and we respect that. And that's what our country is all about. But most importantly, what this is about is saying thank you to all the heroes fighting COVID-19, and we couldn't be more proud of them. 73s to you, sir. Thanks so much for making contact with us. QRZ, this is Kilo 2 Hero, stroke Sierra Uniform Foxtrot.
November 6, Alpha Whiskey Delta.
Roger. Good signal. November 6, Alpha Whiskey Delta. Thank you so very much. Good signal here into New York. I think it's my first contact today in California, so the band is getting longer. I think your name is Fred in Bakersfield. Over to you, sir.
You got that right, old man. Very good. My name, like I said, my name is Fred. You're 5 and 9, and I do salute all the heroes in your state, along with everybody in the United States. Over.
Oh, very well said, Fred. Thank you so much. Thank you for that salute. We appreciate that. Really nice signal, by the way, Fred. What kind of antenna are you running there? Go ahead.
I'm running 700 watts to a 3-element Yagi that's 25 feet off the ground, and the transceiver is an FT2000, over.
Oh, thank you for that report. Doing a wonderful job. Really nice, solid signal into the Big Apple today. QRZ, Kilo 2 Hero, stroke Sierra Uniform Foxtrot. There's a station with Golf Bravo in the call. Go ahead.
Radio Alpha 3, Golf Bravo Victor.
Roger. Okay. Romeo Alpha 3, Golf Bravo Victor. Thank you so much. I believe, is this Sergey in European Russia? Go ahead.
Okay, Kilo 2 Hotel Stroke Sierra United Strokes. This is Radio Alpha 3, Golf Bravo Victor. You report 5 by 9, 5 by 9. My name Sergey, my town, small town, Gryazin. Now microphone, back to you, over.
Sergey, thank you very, very much. Yes, it's good to hear from Europe. Thank you, Sergey. Your signal is 10 over 9 from your Lipsek region in European Russia. Thanks so much, Sergey. Thanks for making contact with us. And as you know, this is a very special event station thanking the heroes that are fighting COVID-19 in the United States and specifically in New York State. Sergey, I wish you the best. Good health, good luck, and thank you so much for making contact with Kilo 2 Hotel. 73s to you, sir.
Okay, thank you very much for the nice cue. So I wish you good luck and my best. 73, bye-bye.
Roger, so noted. Best of 73s to you. Thank you, Sergey, very, very much. 73s. QRZ, Kilo 2 Hero, stroke Sierra Uniform Foxtrot listening. Roger, Radio Zulu November. Come on in.
Yes, good afternoon. Name is Jack. We're here in Loveland, Colorado, and I just want to thank all the frontline people out there fighting this hidden virus. So thank you, sir, for getting us aboard.
My pleasure, Jack. Thank you very much from Colorado. Appreciate your words. Like to make sure I get you in the log. Give me your full call. Go ahead.
Yes, the call is Whiskey Alpha 0, Romeo Zulu November, WA0RZN. Go ahead, sir.
Roger, Jack. Thank you so much. Got it in the log from Loveland, Colorado. Thank you so very much for your kind comments to the heroes that are fighting COVID-19. We want to remember them every single hour, every day while we're going through this war. 73s to you. Thanks so much. QRZ, Kilo 2 Hero, stroke Sierra Uniform Foxtrot. There's a Whiskey Bravo 5 with a Quebec. Go ahead. Oh, that's a nice call. Thank you, John. Good afternoon to you. Pleasure to hear you from Norman, Oklahoma. And I like your Sherman's Lagoon cartoon. That's funny. That's really good. Thank you, John. Oh, look at this. John, how about that? Anyway, haven't spoke with it, John. I'm sure people don't call you Johnny. I bet they don't call you Johnny, John. Anyway, thanks for that. And, John, if you could, give me the antenna you're running and any salutes you'd like to make to the heroes fighting COVID-19. Over to you, sir.
Roger. I'm currently running an Alpha Delta DXLB Plus up at about 50 feet and pointed basically north-south. And I would like to give my thanks to all the medical professionals, both here and in New York and across the country, that are doing their best to fight and defeat this illness. And hopefully we're on the downhill slide on this, and that it'll be better once it's over and done with, and we'll be better for having seen our way through it. Thank you so much. I appreciate the special event station. Back to you.
John, very good words. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. First of all, congratulations on the Alpha Delta. That's a good performing antenna, and you're doing well with that. And yes, we acknowledge thanking the medical professionals in the country, in Oklahoma, in New York City, and certainly in the United States and the world for what they're doing. Saying we'll be better off for it? Yes, we will. We will be better off for it. We're going to come up with better remedies, better therapies. We're going to be more prepared. We certainly have been surprised before. We've been surprised at Pearl Harbor. That was a very big surprise, but look what happened after we got through it and we started to get ahead of it. We succeeded. This is another war, and we will succeed, and we will also, for sure, as I said many times before, I think we'll have a certain kindness and a respect, certainly for the healthcare professionals, but I think more of a response to one another in a very positive way. So thank you, John, so very much for that. I appreciate it. On that note, we are going to go QRT. We're going to be back another day. This is only the 17th. We'll be around for a while. I just want to thank everybody for really spending their time and listening to the broadcast. Hopefully, we all learned a little bit something. I certainly did. I always do. This has been a pleasure for me to really kind of be here delivering the message, receiving the message. And without you amateur radio operators and without you folks on our Twitch TV stream, this would be a very dull broadcast, a very dull session. So thanks so much for making it. Then thank you enough for it. For those on the stream, I'm going to play a couple of thank yous, video thank yous to the nurses. I'd like you to stay around and look at them. Any comments you make, my pleasure, but we're going to continue to do that. Anybody else that's listening would like to go on the stream and maybe would like to follow, would be our pleasure. My home call on Twitch TV, TWITCH TV, my call, Whiskey 2 Juliet Victor in the search box. So we're going to spend a couple of minutes doing that. For now, everybody, good health, be well, be safe, be kind to each other. And most of all, if you know a nurse out there, a healthcare practitioner, please reach out to them, make a phone call, say hello, say how you doing, and just detect if they're doing okay. And if not, maybe you could offer some help from another professional. Thanks so much, everybody. Thanks for your caring. We amateur radio operators, this is a service, and we're just looking great. And I can't thank you enough for being part of this very special event honoring of the heroes fighting COVID-19. 73s, everybody. We'll see you again. Thanks for the time. This is Kilo 2 Heroes. Stroke Sierra, Uniform, Foxtrot, going QRT. Thanks so very much. Now we'll go to our stream.
Thank you for your service.
My pleasure, 73s. Okay, we're now silent. Let's go to a stream and let's play a few things here that really I think might resonate. The standby stations, let's get the first one up and running. Yep, heroes, work here. We agree. Thank you to all who are called to serve. Thank you, Ascension, for putting that on. Let's see if there's maybe another good one after this that may be a thank you. Yep, we could use more healthcare professionals. Without doubt, we could use more.
Hi, I'm Amy Wilson. I have the privilege of seeing the amazing and compassionate care and the collaboration all across Ascension as we respond to the national healthcare crisis and the pandemic of COVID-19. I'm proud to be a nurse and proud to be a part of the amazing care that we are providing at Ascension. If you have a caregiving heart or you're feeling led or called to respond to this pandemic, we have a place for you here at Ascension.
Thank you, Ascension. We appreciate that very, very much. Let's see. We have another one I'd like to bring on. Oh, I know I've played this before, but yeah, it just resonates. Another thank you. Yeah, they sure are angels. And our last one. Thank you for spending time with us today. We really do appreciate that. Yep. As they would say in the military, we salute you. Thank you so very much for taking the time. Say goodbye to everybody, or as they say in amateur radio, 73s. And once again, if you have any interest at all in our hobby, a hobby that really, I think, gives as much as it takes, please reach out to the ARRL.org. A lot of information about what we are doing, what we're all about, and how varied we are. Thank you so very much, and goodbye to all of you, and have a good evening, and enjoy the rest of your Sunday. Thanks for spending the time with us here at the very special event station, Kilo 2 Heroes, Stroke Sierra, Uniform Foxtrot. Well, thank you very much. And let me make sure I pronounced this right. Kinetic Plastique. Thank you. Just found your broadcast on the radio. Love what you're doing. Thank you very much. We very much appreciate that. We love that you're participating, that you're part of us. Your words are golden to us. And these words certainly are being saved and passed on. And it's all about saying thank you to the healthcare workers. And we're playing our small part to contribute to that dialogue. Thank you so much for acknowledging that. We thank you much. Jay Schiffer, 77, 73 Peter, 73 to you as well. Thanks so much. Have a very safe and happy Sunday, 73s. And remember one thing, be good to yourselves.